It's too quiet in here! How's everybody doing today?
Great!
You guys excited to be here? Awesome. So I want to get started by introducing myself. My name is Jacob Taylor. I'm the real estate kid. A little bit about myself. I've been working in the real estate industry the last 5 years with my dad. I started in 2017, right after I began my college journey.
JT, is your microphone not working? Did you
Hello?
turn it on?
It is on.
Talk into it. Put it up.
Hello?
There you go. Put it up there.
Can everyone hear me?
There you go. Good
I think
boy.
we're good.
I'm just doing what dads do.
So, what I was saying is I just finished my college journey at UNLV. I graduated in December with a business degree with a focus in real estate. I began my real estate career filing papers, doing a little bit of property management, some busy work, just learning the ropes, cleaning the toilets, as my dad would say, all the fun stuff. Yes, I've been in property management the last few years. Got licensed in 2019 in November. Been selling homes part-time while I finished up college. Now that I'm done, I am full-time, getting in the industry, and really learning the ropes from the real estate guy. So right now, I'm working on getting my broker's license so I can kick him out of here. Tell him to go bye-bye, my turn. So let me introduce him. The real estate guy. I want to tell you a little bit about him. I've learned a lot from him over the years. You know, he's taught me a few important principles that I'd like to touch on. One is the importance of creating relationships and how powerful that can be in this industry. Two is giving back. You know, the real estate guy in our culture is very important to us. We take a lot of pride in the power of us giving back to people and helping others. And we really encourage you all to do the same. So today I want to show you guys, I want to start out with a little video for you all, just to show you a little bit about the real estate guy culture and what we're about.
Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of your imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
Eric's always saying to us about how it takes a community and that he would be in his position if it wasn't for the people like all these things that give him the support.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it, want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Eric Taylor here, the real estate guy, feeding 3,000 people dine and drive. Street tacos, rice and beans over here behind the Aviator Stadium in downtown Summerlin.
There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you will be free if you truly wish to be.
You guys think of that, huh? Great job, kid. So, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate you. Do we work for the best company in the world or what? EXP. Not only do we work for the best company, but in my opinion, we have the best broker, state broker, Spencer T. Walker. Because, you know, I owned the company 048 Realty for years, and I always did things my way. I never thought I would be an agent with another company. And Bobby Martins, who's here, is going to speak later. Bobby's fantastic. He convinced me to join EXP, and I haven't looked back ever since. It's been a great ride. I love what I do. Today, guys, I want you to write a few things down. We're going to get out of our box. If you guys have questions, raise your hand, participate. I want you guys to get involved. This is for you. I am hoping that every single person out of here walks away with some kind of a nugget today, right? That's what you're here for. You want a nugget for 2022? We want to sell more houses. We want to make more money. I want to show you how the Real Estate Guy team does it, how we make money and our culture and everything that we do. I have a saying that I want everybody to write down right now, which is business first, personal second. Write it down. Business first, personal second. That's going to flow into what Bobby's going to talk about later. The reason I like that saying so much is who has kids in the room? Who has kids in the room that's ever asked you for money? So, my kids used to do this, they don't anymore, but I used to get the phone call from them and they go, "Hey Dad, how are you? How's Mom? How's Dad? How's work?" And they would say all these things and butter me up for 15 minutes, and you're on the other side of the phone and you know it's coming, right? You know it's coming. Just ask me the question, for Pete's sakes. And then they get around to ask you, "Can I borrow $100? Can I get $1,000? Well, clients are no different. When you make your contacts and your phone calls, they're no different. They appreciate if you just get them to the business first. Call them up, get to the point, ask them what you want, then go to the personal. It's so much more genuine. I started doing this years ago, and I'll tell you what, it's fantastic. If someone wants something from me, ask me. I'm a scheduled person. Just call them and say, "Aaron, I want to go to lunch. I want you to help me." Okay, cool. Now, if you ask me how my business is, how's my family, how's my kids, that's a bonus. That makes me feel good, right? But you're giving me the option to go, "Man, okay, great, I'll see you for lunch, but I'm real busy. I'll talk to you later." Make sense? So, for me, my business first, personal second is this. I'm going to get right to the point. Number one is we have a lot of EXP solo agents, I call them. They're EXP agents that are signed up from other people in other cities and states that are here by themselves with no direction and no help. Some of you in the room? What we used to do is we add people to the Real Estate Guy team, but I was always very particular on who I added. The number one rule was you couldn't be with EXP because I wanted you in my downline, right? What's so cool about talking to you guys than other agents with their companies is we speak the same language, downline, revenue share, all this stuff, right? So I wouldn't bring them on. But now I want to help our company and our agents. If you're an EXP solo agent and you want to be part of a great team, that's why I'm showing you our culture, we're going to take you, we're going to help you. We have a great training program. We have systems in place that are dynamite, which you're going to see. You're going to have testimonials from some of our agents that they're going to show you what we're all about. We would love to have you. That's number one. The other thing is we just want to help our EXP agents be better. We want you to make more money. We want you to do it the right way. We want you to build a database. We want you to be successful. Sound good?
Yep.
Business first, personal second. Now we have to add value. Now we have to show you what we're all about. Who's been to our training on Tuesday at 8400 West Sahara? Some of you? You guys that have, you know that I always start off with The Secret. Has anybody seen The Secret? Anybody read the book Think and Grow Rich? That's what our life's all about. As you can see from the video, our culture with the Real Estate Guy is that we give back. Everything we do, we give back. We have systems in place in our business. We give cash advances. We fix people's houses up. We don't charge interest. We don't charge money. We loan money. Everything in our business that we design is giving people money and giving back to the community, to the agents, everybody that surrounds us, because we understand the power of law of attraction. You guys understand the power of law of attraction? 90% of our business in real estate is where? Between our ears. We should talk more about what's keeping us from doing what we need to do. Not about how to do open houses, not how about scripts, not how about making phone calls. We should talk about what's between our ears. What's the fear? What keeps us from doing what we want to do? Why don't we make those contacts? Right? Why don't we ask the person, if you were to buy or sell a house, or had a friend or a family member that was, am I the agent you would use? Why don't we do that? That's what we should be talking about. So, we help others. We're very grateful for what we do. Every single morning and every night, I wake up and I say the same thing. Lord and universe, I'm so grateful for my life, my wife, my kids, my family, my job, my personality, my good health, and my finances. Then I ask the universe and God for more. It's very important. That's where people fall short. And I ask you for continuously good health, which hasn't been lately, by the way. The last 2 weeks I've been out. A lot of you have, right? Good health, more money, more finances to help more people. I ask for more. I ask for a great day today. It's very important that, not that you're just grateful, but you ask for it in return. Thoughts become things. Whatever you put in your head, you create. As you get older, who's over 50 in the room? Raise your hand. Nope. And if you're over 50, you don't want to raise your hand, don't raise it. So over 50, you tend to learn this with experience, that what you do in your earlier life, in your 20s and 30s, you create. You create your own world. Like the video that you just saw of me with my boat, my family, and everything we do to help people, I created my own world. It's my world. The meaning of everything is my meaning. It's me, right? It's what I create. So we're going to show you, we're going to create our own world. Know your dominant thought. This is really important. Your dominant thought, and I want you to write this down. Write down right now what you think about all day long. What your dominant thought is. I don't care what it is, just write it down. Good, bad, negative, positive, I don't care what it is, just write it down. Your dominant thought. Now what happens is, the person you are today is what you're writing down. Your dominant thought is when you wake up in the morning. You know when you wake up in the morning, the alarm goes off. If you have an alarm. If you're over 50, you just wake up. 4 o'clock in the morning. It's earlier and earlier, right? I used to get up to pee at 3 or 4 and then go back to bed. Now I just stay up. So you wake up in the morning, you lay down, you're laying on the pillow, and your mind just wanders. And you start wondering about what you want, the riches you want, the happiness you want, the relationship you want, everything you want in your life. You lay there and you just think about it. When you go to bed at night, same thing. You go to bed at night, your mind wanders, and you start thinking about, you could call it wishing, hoping, daydreaming, whatever. That's your dominant thought. Well, that's who you are today. You could change your dominant thought. You could change your world. Who wants a better life and a better world? Who wants more money? I do. Everybody does. So let's change it. So now what I want you to do is I want you to write down a dominant thought that you want to improve your life. I don't care if it's money, transactions, volume, happiness, a new wife or husband, new broker. Just kidding. Hey. Just kidding. Whatever that is, write down your new dominant thought, what you want. Because let me ask you a question. If you can really create and get anything you want in life, what would you write down? Do you want to make $50,000 a month? Do you want to help 10 people in sales every single month? Do I want to be 180 pounds, not 205? Write it down. We can create it. It's so important. Then, what I want you to jot down is what you're grateful for in your life. Just kind of like what I said earlier. It doesn't matter, in my opinion, if you believe in God, the universe, or wherever you want to put it out there, but it will give it back to you. So I want you to write something down there like this. Universe, God, whoever it is, I'm so grateful for my life, my wife, my kids, my family. I'm grateful for my jacket, for the person that's next to me, for my car, for my house, for the money that I make. I'm grateful for my health. Then what nobody does is I want you to just jot a few things down that you want, that you're asking for. I want better health. I want more money. You think money's evil? It's not. Money's good. God in the universe wants you to be in abundance. They want you to be happy, right, Brent? Brent FaceTimes me at every island he goes to, and he's happy because he knows I'm one of the guys on the other end that goes, yeah, man, way to go. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for seeing my world. We're going to have some great speakers today. We have a couple vendors that we use that I love. You're going to hear me say this a lot today. I love this guy like a brother because I have a lot of brothers. I love a lot of people. We're going to have a great appraiser, a real estate attorney, Bobby Lawrence from San Diego that's going to go over how to attain clients. And what's going to be nice, guys, is you're not going to get bored with anybody. Every like 10 or 15 minutes, boom, 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 boom. So if you're tired of me, you get somebody else right away. It's just going to be fast. Because you know when you go to these things, sometimes you're like, oh my God, shut up already. Jeez, I get it, okay, make phone calls. But this guy, Doug Liebig, is with Las Vegas Inspections. He's been a friend of mine for over 25 years. I think we used to call him the Marlboro Man because he's tall, right? He's a good guy. He does great inspections. He does them the right way. Who's ever had an inspector kill a deal for you? Terrible, right? I'm just going through one now. It wasn't this guy. It was somebody else. It's like, for Pete's sakes, please, control everything. But anyways, I want to introduce Doug. A great friend of mine, used it for 25 years. Doug Liebig, come on up and say hi. Oh, he's got his mic. Oh, look at you, Doug. My man, okay. Don't he look like the Marlboro Man? Yeah. The cowboy. All the girls love Doug. Look at how handsome he is.
All right, thanks. That's a hell of a follow-up for coming and doing my thing. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it, and I would like to meet all of you at some point in time. And just a quick background of where I came from. I got my degree in civil engineering, and I came down here in about 94, 95, and came down here with an engineering company, worked on several projects. I was a field engineer, inspector, so to speak, and I worked in the engineering field until about 2001 and decided to get a home inspection license after I finished up a project, the monorail actually, and started doing home inspections. And I had Aaron's very first, he gave me my very first inspection with Nancy Camara. He just reminded me of that this morning.
Darn right I did.
And
25 years.
It probably took me, for a 2,000 square foot house, probably took me about 3 hours to do it. And, but I was learning the ropes at that time. Since then, I've obviously gotten a little bit quicker. Yeah, I've sped it up a little bit. I learned quite a bit along the way. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, I'm sure everybody's had a home inspection and they kind of know how that all works. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was the actual report. In the engineering field, it was all about making it so we, in layman's terms, anybody could read the report and figure out what they needed to do. And if you can do that, if I can take, say, somebody who is a pet trainer or a contractor or a whatever it happens to be, and they can look at my report and say, okay, this is what I need to do, or this is good, this is bad, this needs to be fixed. That's my whole goal. Going through the report, I think one of the most important things is being able to explain yourself in the report. So by that I mean, if you see something in a property, be able to put that down into words so somebody can understand what it is that you're talking about. For example, just a very easy example, but say a door lock doesn't work on a door. You don't put down the door doesn't work. You know, that kind of thing. You put in there, you kind of detail it out. The door latch didn't work. The lock was broken. You know, whatever the case may be. But you just try to be descriptive about it. So what that does is it prevents phone calls from the buyer. And most of the time I have the buyer. I don't have too many sellers doing pre-sale inspections, but most of the time it's the buyer, and it prevents the buyer from calling you, asking you. It's like, what does this mean? You can just go through the report and the buyer says, okay, this is what I want fixed. It prevents calls from me so I can actually continue to do my job. And if it's clear, if it's in words and it's clear, then it's a win-win for everybody. And I guess that's the bottom line is I want to make it as clear and concise as possible. The other thing that I find is the way I set my report up is there's a body of the report. And in the report, I put pictures in there with descriptions in the report. So when I'm doing that, I try to detail out what the problem is in the report and then also put the description in the body. But at the back of the report, I also put summary pages together so you can kind of go through it quickly and see, okay, what do we got here? But the thing I find that's kind of funny, and over the years, people never really read the body of the report. And I know there's a few pages in there, but really the body of the report is really pretty important to go through first, and then go through the summary pages in the back. And the summary pages, the way I have it set up is I detail it out with marginal and defective items. So marginal items in a report basically means that the item is working, but it does need repair. For instance, a valve under the sink is leaking. Well, you still got water to the sink, but it's leaking. It needs to be fixed. Another example for defective would be you go to turn a fixture on, turn something on that is supposed to be working when you turn the air conditioning unit, for example. You go to turn the air conditioning unit on, it doesn't turn on. You reset the breaker, whatever, and it still doesn't turn on. Well, that's a defective item. It's there, it's just not running, not working, and it needs to be repaired. So that's, it could be a number of things that are going on with it. So that's kind of how I set it up, and that's kind of the mindset that I've gone through the reports with is marginal and defective, and then in some cases there's not inspected, and some things are out of the scope. It's interesting when the state of Nevada gives you a guideline in which to inspect by, and some of the items are out of our scope of services. For instance, well, back in the day, it'd be a phone line. When I first started, people are like, "How does a phone line work?" And I'm like, that's not something we check. I don't know. You'd have to call the phone company. And but there's things in there that the state of Nevada does not require us to inspect. But everything I can lay my eyes on and hands on, I'll go through and I'll note it in the report. That's kind of the way I wanted to just go through it and let you know how I laid out the report and how and the report is it's a very important part of the transaction actually, because that's going to, like Aaron said, he had a guy kill the deal, and my goal is to never kill a deal, because my concept in doing home inspections is everything can be fixed. You can exaggerate it or you can call it what it is. And that's kind of the way I do my business. And I do it looking out for the best interest of the people who refer me, who are 9 times out of 10, the buyer's agent is the one that refers me. I'm looking out for them, and I'm also looking out for the buyer. Obviously, first and foremost, the buyer, but then also protecting the agent as well. That's my whole goal in doing these inspections. And really, I guess the reason I got into doing home inspections is because I do have a broad knowledge of systems from the civil side. My background was actually in geotech, and so I was able to provide a service doing home inspections, and I do have quite a good working knowledge. But that was my whole thing with home inspections, is providing a good service and providing a service that basically more service than what I actually get paid for. So that's my whole goal in it. But anyway, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, real quick, you guys standing up back here, come sit down. Sit down. We're up here. We want to see you guys sitting down. You know what? At these events, I used to be always the cool one that stood in the back. You know, I'm not going to get in the front, man. I'm too cool. Yeah. You're the one that need help. Get in the front. Get up here. Throw the ego out the door. Get your ass up in the front. Let's go. Hey, real quick, especially you new agents, you know, these reports, it's so important, guys, for the buyer or the listing agent to dictate what's going on in the transaction. You have to be in charge of the transaction. You have to be in charge of your client. Would you guys agree? You can't let your buyer tell you how it works. You're the professional. You need to know how it works. You need to let the buyer know, look, the inspector's going to inspect the house. He's going to give us a report. He works for you. He's going to give you about 100 items on that report. Caulking, chips, this, that, and the other thing. But all we want the seller to do, all they're required to fix is things that are broken, mechanical, structural, leaks. Did you guys get it? So you're going to make the transaction easier if you prep the buyer ahead of time. Another thing we do with our agents on our team, our agents don't take a buyer out until they do 5 steps, which I'm going to go over with you later. And part of that 5 steps is the appointment and sitting down with them in an office and going over the process with them. You'll make it smoother. If you talk to the buyer and prepare them of the things that could happen, right, you're going to need EMD, explain how that works. You're going to get an HOA resale package, explain how that works. There's going to be an appraisal. If it happens, if it's up, if it's down, if it's this, you got to explain how that happens. Explain the report. That's very important, right? The due diligence period. 10 days, 14 days. What happens in that days? You better respond, get it signed, and everything within that due diligence period. Little things that are so important that you can make the transaction go so smooth on the buy side, and really helps. I'm really a big listing agent. On the listing side, it just helps the whole thing. During the course of this morning, we're going to have some agents that I've helped over the years, and they want to come up and tell you their story, what they're going through. This next person that I have coming up, watch this picture. Ready? You ready? You ready? Boom! Look at how handsome this guy is, huh? This guy is a dynamic individual. As a matter of fact, he's like one of my kids. The holidays, all 5 of my kids, I wish them Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and Sam's the 6th one. He's in there, right? He's like one of my kids. He came up to me probably 3 years ago and said, Aaron, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm doing like 5 transactions. I need help. Just tell me what to do. And I'm going to let him tell you the rest of the story. But if you don't know Sam, he's a great guy. He's an inspiration to me. I'm so proud of this guy. Sam Coleman, Luxury Group, come on up.
How's everybody doing today? So, there's a trick to this, right? Which way can I go before
Just don't walk directly in front of you.
Don't like running me right here. So do you need this too? No. Oh, there you go. Do your thing. You need a basketball to make you feel more comfortable?
Yeah, give me a hoop, a basketball.
They'll tell you that story.
Yeah. All right. Don't feel good. You're better than good. So I would encourage you guys to change the way that you communicate with yourself. One of the things that I learned from AT when I first met him was his infectious personality. So one of my favorite quotes is, going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. So when I first met Aaron, I was door knocking. I was doing all the things that brokers tell you to do. Go knock on doors, cold call, circle prospect, farm, do all this good stuff. But I wasn't getting anywhere. So when I got with AT, he said, do you have a database? I said, yeah, I have a database. He said, show me. I didn't have a database. I mean, I paid for one, but I wasn't using it. So it was just debiting every month, and I didn't have any people in it. So he said, put every person that you know in your phone in your database, and then come back when you're done. So I came back 2 weeks, tried to set up another meeting with him, and he said, show me your database. How many people think I had a database? 2. No, 50. I still didn't have a database. I still didn't have a database. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm trying to make more money. How is this going to help me make more money? And every single time I came back, he still had the same infectious attitude. He still had the same personality. He still had the same motivation to get me to do the thing that he told me to do. So once I did it, I came back, said, man, I got 600 people in my database. And then I started going through and asking the question, if you were to buy or sell a home, or had a friend or a family member that was to buy or sell a home, is there an agent that you would use to refer business to? And when I first started, I didn't sound like that. I sounded like a robot. It was terrible. Everybody pretty much said no. Everybody said, yes, I have an agent, but if I didn't have an agent, I wouldn't use you. So, in his mind, I know it's just as good as a yes because I knew who not to spend my time with. And it was easier for me because now I could go talk to anybody and they didn't know that I just messed up. So I would go and door knock, and I started to learn my scripts and started to get focused on one particular thing, and that was the luxury space. And for very obvious reasons, I figured out what 3% of $1 million was. I mean, come on, really, 30 grand. I'm like, hey, 6,000, 30 grand. I went to 30. So my first transaction was 205,000. It was a home in the Southwest. I had just got my real estate license in 2016, and I was driving for Uber at the time. So I played professional basketball. I went through a very humiliating time in my life where I got cut, I got injured, I couldn't get a contract to save my life. So I did what normal people try to do, take care of their family. So when I got my real estate license, I had nothing but past due child support payments and ambition. So I didn't start with much. So if I can do this, I want to tell every single one of you that you can do this. And when I got my license, I had this vision in my mind, like if I just made $100,000, all my problems would go away. And then I gained a new problem when I made $100,000. It's called IRS. So I started selling real estate. My very first transaction was $205,000, and then 4 months later, I got my first check for $30,000. So 4 months into business, I sold a $1 million home. All I did was realize that it was possible for me. So the reason why I want you to change the way that you communicate with yourself was because when I talked to Aaron, he would not allow me to say that I wasn't capable. He wouldn't allow me to be mediocre. He wouldn't allow me to talk about myself in a way that wasn't going to propel me to where I wanted to go. So the moment that I started to do all the things that he talked about, so I journal every day, my team journals every single day, and I hold them accountable to journal because in the times where it did not work, I wanted to quit. I quit real estate like 17 times. Like literally, I'm like, this is it. I'm going back to play basketball. Send me to Africa. I don't care where I go. I'm not doing this anymore. I quit. And I remember walking into Aaron's office 3 years ago and saying, I had been with EXP, I think maybe 6 months. And I was like, dude, I'm out. Like this just isn't working for me. And then we started to reverse engineer what wasn't working for me, and it was my commitment level and my ability to do what I said I was going to do. So now I want to encourage you all to be practitioners. So we all know what to do. I'm not going to tell you what you should do because you know exactly what you need to do. Everybody knows what they need to do, but there's a reason why we're not doing it. Why aren't we doing the things that we need to do? So as I started to sit with Aaron, I started to ask myself, why am I not doing the things that I know I need to do? Like I have the database now, I went through all this. And who's ever been through a scenario where they felt like, man, this thing's going to kill me. Like there's no way I can make through this. Yet here we all are. Right? And I've had those times where I felt like, man, I'm just not going to make it through this. And I made it through it. And I was sitting with Aaron and I was talking to him. He said, well, are you doing this? Are you doing this? And why aren't you doing these things? And that question resonated. Like, why am I not? Why am I not? So why aren't you? Who would suffer? Who would suffer if you did not accomplish the things that you set out to accomplish? Like, who are those people's names? And I began to say those names out loud. Like, my wife, my children would suffer if I don't accomplish my goals. Like, am I doing a disservice to my family by not doing what I'm supposed to do? And then what's the benefit if I do? Who would benefit from me accomplishing my goals? And I would say their names. So now it became more meaningful. And then I started to realize, like, wait, the more I do, the more I'm able to give away, and the better I feel about what I'm doing. So it became not just a $30,000 commission check. The commission was just a byproduct of me doing what I'm supposed to do anyway. So if you can commit to what you know you're supposed to do and just do it piece by piece, all the things that you want on the other side of that fear that's keeping you from where you want to go, everything on the other side of that fear is waiting for you. It wants you too. But you have to get in motion and attach those emotions to it. And that was the difference maker for me when I started to do that when I sat in this office that time. The next thing that was a game changer for me was literally just the accountability factor where he would give me an assignment to go do, and I would go do it, and I wouldn't come back to him or even talk to him until I did the thing. Who do you have? Who's in proximity with you that's going to help, that's going to hold you accountable? Not just because they're going to be successful just because of you, but they genuinely want to see you win. Who do you have around you that you're close to that's going to help, that really wants to genuinely see you win? If you don't have anybody, I want to encourage you to get with somebody. So, like he said, that we're actively recruiting, not to build our downline, because you're already sponsored by somebody. That's the harsh truth. Like, it doesn't matter. Somebody else will benefit if we help you be successful. We genuinely want to see you be successful, because at a certain point, it's not just about the money, it's about the impact. So now, on the other side of that poverty that I was in, that impoverished mindset that I was living in, the impoverished life, the mediocre life that I was living in, everything that I do now is about pouring into other people. So every single person has a meaning to me. So I don't just say my kid's name. I pray for my people that are on my team. I pray for my vendors. Every single person that's connected to me, and then the people that I can inspire as well, because I want to live a life that will outlive me. And it started with a logo that was me playing basketball, wanting to sell homes, to make $100,000. $100,000. Like, come on, really? Like, you can trip and fall into $100,000 if you go out there and just talk to people. I promise you that. I did it wrong for 2.5 years. For 2.5 years, I did it wrong, and I still made money. So if you want to do it right, we're going to teach you how to do it the right way. Who wants to do it the right way and make some money?
I do.
I'm in! So in the luxury market, I want to give you guys a couple of things to think about. If you're aspiring to be in the luxury market, one book recommendation that I want to give you is No BS Marketing to the Affluent. No BS Marketing to the Affluent. BS, it stands for what you think it stands for. Bachelor's of Science. Just So No BS Marketing to the Affluent will give you an idea of how to even communicate and what to look for when you're talking to affluent people. Now that I am the affluent people, it makes so much more sense. Like, time is my currency. I know I'll never earn less than $1 million ever again because of what I'm capable of. The money is the easy part. My time is what's very important to me. The time that I get to spend with my family, the time that I get to spend with the kids, and the time that I get to do what I want to do, when I want to do it. I don't care if my team knows my team is here. If you call me at 4:30, will you get me to answer the phone? No, because that's when I pick up my girls. I'm going to blink. I've had enough people that with way more wisdom than me tell me, you're going to blink, Sam, your kids are going to be adult, and you're not going to be able to get that time back. So that sits in my spirit all the time. Every time I want to take that phone call, because I'm thinking about the deal. Screw that deal. My kid is more important than that deal. Money's not even real now. It's freaking pictures and art and all types of stuff. Anything is money now, so it's not even real. I can go buy a Simba now. Harry Potter is a form of currency now. So, but my time with my kid is most important. So I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about the things that I want to do all the time. And you understand that when you communicate effectively with affluent people, because affluent people care about several things. Education. How do you speak? Are you articulate, and can you effectively communicate what you're trying to say in an efficient manner, direct manner? So education, how do you speak? People with more money than them. They care about people with more money than them. And most importantly, like I just said, their time. So are you going to be time efficient with them? Are you the person for the job? So I've had several clients that I asked 3 specific questions to. Before a transaction or at the end of the transaction, I will ask them offline, if you would go back to your 33-year-old self, what would you do differently? What were the things that help you be as successful as you are? And what has allowed your marriage to be exactly what it is now, if they're in a happy marriage? It is somebody that I want to emulate. So those are the 3 questions. So I can extract that information, and now I become a practitioner. I keep what works and I discard what doesn't. So another client, one of my favorite clients that Tracy, you know as well, we were on this listing appointment, and I was on this listing appointment. I met with her for probably 3.5 hours. Very incredible woman, and she said, Sam, when I got into the casino business, I started cleaning the hotels. I was a cleaner. She was a what's the word I'm looking for? Housekeeper. Yeah, she was a housekeeper. Yeah, crowd participation. I'm just saying it was. So she said she started, and then she became the VP of the casino. But she started as a housekeeper, and I was curious, like, how do you do something like that? And she said, one passing of a casino executive gave me a lesson. He said, be a lifelong student. She said, I was 23 when I heard that, and I never stopped learning. I took that, and I said, what can I do now at 33? How can I continue to learn and become a practitioner and I don't practice what I preach what I practice. So for my team and anybody, even the things that I'm telling you guys, I'm not just saying something arbitrarily just so I can have something to say or look cool or anything like that. These are things, these are real life examples and real life experience that I've done, and I've gone through all the trials and tribulations. I've tried pretty much anything you can think of to go. I've been chased by dogs. I'm in Facebook groups. I've been in Facebook groups for soliciting. I've had a division called on me. I've been 86th out of the Ridges, Gargani community. Anything you can think of, I've already done it. I've called people on do not call lists. I've gone through all the things, and it always comes back to the same exact thing. How can I effectively communicate and be in proximity to people that are going to help me be successful? Talk to their intent. We planned that. I'm actually calling right now.
By the way, everybody shut your cell phones off.
Is that your ringtone?
Yes, it is.
I spent a lot of money on advertising.
That reminds you every day.
So I want to encourage you guys specifically to be a lifelong student, get into proximity with people that are going to help you be successful, that genuinely want to see you win. Whether they make a dime or not, will they help you be successful? And that's what Aaron was to me, even before I even came to EXP and I was in part of his downline. And I don't know how much time I got, but if anybody has any particular questions about the luxury real estate market or what I do to be successful in the market.
Well, I want you to stay up here because I got a couple of stories that I want people to see. First thing is, by the way, he's been in the business 4 years?
4.5 years.
4.5 years, and how much volume did you do last year?
I think 56 million.
56 million, it's pretty good, right? But this is what's more impressive. What's your average sale?
Right now it's down to about 1.2 and some change.
Wow, 1.2? We did almost 300 transactions. If I was at 1.2, man, I'd be wearing a better watch. I'll tell you that. But a funny story about Sam, which I love, which you guys can pick up and take is, you know, first of all, he's a good businessman. Agents that do a lot of business, lenders, insurance agents, they're not just good agents, good lenders, good realtors, or good business people. You know, as an agent, yeah, you can do, you know, a couple transactions a month, 4 transactions a month, but once you start getting to a certain volume, you become a business person, and you're running your organization, right? Sam is great at taking direction. Sam jumps. I mean, he committed to listening to me, right? We went to lunch the other day, and he wants to do something else, and I'm giving him what to do. 3 days later, I call up, and he goes, "It's funny you called me. I'm speaking to the person about what we talked about the other day." He listens to what I help him with because, I mean, let's face it, I'm 25 years older than you.
Yeah.
Right? I've been there, done that a lot of times. That's why I say he's like one of my sons. A funny story I got to tell you about Sam, though, was when he first came aboard. I said, "Sam, funny is money." By the way, write that down. Funny is money.
Selectively. Take that with a grain of salt.
Because if you're willing to make fun of yourself and look stupid, people love it. I'm just telling you. Funny is money. You know, these posts, what's the ones that get all the most likes? They're usually the babies, the doggies, and someone being stupid, right? Funny is money. Another thing, don't care about what people think about you. Who cares? You live once. I guarantee you there's several people in the room that just don't like me. Well, I don't care. It's okay. I had great time. Don't come back. I mean, it's okay. But Sam, when I first got Sam, I said, "Sam," I go, "Hoops to homes. You're hoops to homes. If everybody knows you're a basketball player, my God, you're 6'10", for Pete's sake." I go, "Why don't you wear a hula hoop and do a hula hoop?" I go, "That'll be funny." And what did Sam
Not like
do?
that, though.
Well, not like that. And Sam goes like this. Sam goes, "Okay, I'll do it." So Sam gets this pink hula hoop, right? You put on.
It was not pink. It was salmon.
Salmon. Okay. And you do this event at Porsche.
Yep.
And he does these commercials, and there's a sales manager and the salesperson at Porsche, and Sam's talking in the commercial, and he's doing something, and they're on the other side of the hula hoop doing this, and it was just hilarious, right?
Yes.
It was
So
funny.
so I actually did wear a hula hoop. I did this whole production. It was an advertisement, and I learned a lot about that. I learned a lot about that. So even though the end result wasn't successful, but I learned so much about one, I got out of my comfort zone. I did something that I wouldn't normally do, but then it also allowed me to understand how important marketing was. Like McDonald's doesn't have the best burgers, but everybody knows who the heck they are. I couldn't tell you the last time I ate one, but I know they got a cheeseburger for $1.05, right? Or you can get like 89 nuggets for like $4.99 or something, right? So, you know.
So the point is that it was the process that Sam had to go through, right? I always tell my kids, everybody's on their own timeline. I tell my kid, you graduate December, graduate with your 30. I don't care. Go to Europe and screw up for 2 months. I'm the different parent that just doesn't care. Enjoy yourself, right? Be happy. But everybody's on a different timeline. I'm 58 years old. It's my time, right? I'm 58, but I feel like I'm 28. But it's my time. It took me a while. It took me till I got to my 40s to figure this out. Sam's timeline is in his 30s. Someone else here might be older than me, 60s. It's your time. But everybody's on a different timeline. But he had to go through that process, and what it made you learn so much from that.
So much.
Every time we have you do something or we talk, you just like, you learn constantly, right?
But I think about it before I do it now. Speaking of clothes, so one of the things that I want you guys to think about when if you're thinking about getting into the luxury space, your presentation, people judge you based on how you communicate, but they're going to judge you before you even open your mouth. But once you open your mouth, you tell people who you are. So if they're going to judge you prior to seeing you, when I first got into this business, I had a 2005 Chevy Impala, and I remember turning off of Desert Inn on the Ford Apache and the spoiler flew off. I started cranking up like I was like, it can't get any worse than this. Like, this is the worst. It smelled like cigarettes. I had holes in the back seat. Like, it was terrible. But I remember that first $1 million sale when I started showing them. It was my first time ever even seeing the bridges. I didn't even know. They didn't want to, of course, they didn't get in my car. They had me get in their brand new Cadillac Escalade that they bought off the freeway that was standing on a platform as they were driving through Utah, and that was their Vegas vehicle. So they bought that vehicle and they said, Sam, get in my car and we're going to, go look at the homes, because they didn't want to get into my 2005 Chevy Impala. And then he said, Sam, I like you, kid, but here's what you need to know. If you want to play in this game, you have to look like you play in the game. So I did the worst thing that I could have ever done. With that. I went and bought a Mercedes. I went and bought a Mercedes. So I got the car and I'm like, man. And it's like, oh, you don't have a payment for 45 days. Oh, I can get an escrow in 30. Let's do this. I didn't get an escrow in 30 and that payment came, so it made me get off my butt and start going hustling. And then my clothes were too big. My clothes still don't fit, but now they're just a little bit small, but they were too big at that time. And I had the big ties, and I just looked like a used car salesman. Sorry if anybody sold used car. I sold used cars, right? But I just had that look. And I said, you know what? It's time to switch it up. Like, I got a little swag. Let me go, spend a couple dollars, and I went and got me $100 suits instead of the ones from Bros, and that was $39.99. So great.
But you got to do what you got to do.
What you got to do, what you got to do to start.
You have to.
I would not encourage you to go get yourself in debt to look like something that you're not. If I could go back and do that again, I could have waited. But my persona changed, and how I appeared to people was significantly different. Like, to go into the bank to cash my first real estate check, to them to open up the business line and call me Mr. Coleman, I liked how that felt. When I go to valet and they say, welcome back, Mr. Coleman, and they know exactly who I am, I like how that feels. When my wife says, hey, we need so-and-so and so, and then it just shows up at the door, I like how that feels. Because my kids go to private school, I'm trying not to tear up right now. But I remember, on my vision board, I have this space where I write down, I remember. And I just remember pulling up to McDonald's, seriously, with loose change. I remember the court calling me because I couldn't make my child support payments. But now, I got 529s for my kids. They're never going to have to worry about taking out student loan debt. The generations to come are predicated, their success is already set in stone. Like, I know who I am. I'm not worried about what people think about me. I don't care who don't like me. I don't care where I come from. there. I'm going to spend the rest of my natural life helping people feel the feeling that I feel now. Like if you think that there's something because of your skin color, your religion or anything, that's all bogus. It's all bogus. So if you want to be successful and go live a life that you really intend to live, like it's so possible. It's so possible because I'm living proof of it. And you don't have to have a bunch of money. I didn't come from money. I didn't come from anything. But it's possible for you. So thank you, my man.
Oh,
and I should too.
I held it back.
Yeah.
Sam created his own world. You see that? When Sam first came to me, I said, "Watch The Secret." He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "That's not real estate." I said, "Watch The Secret, Sam. Go watch the DVD, go read the book, watch The Secret." This isn't about real estate. It's about your culture. It's about your life. It's about who you are. You can create your own world. So Sam started creating his own world. Sam got his wife involved, created his own world. Then he started with his vision board. Then he started with everything else, and Sam created the person he is today. That doesn't mean Sam wasn't the person he was 4 years ago. He's just a better version of it. He's who he wants to be. I'm a better version of who I was in my 40s. Sometimes you got to, we're going to talk about this later too, get past your friends and your family, people. Who gives a shit what they think about you? If you start dressing better, looking better, and making more money, and they don't like it, get rid of them. You pick your own family, right? Who has family in here that you just really don't want to call family? Probably everybody in here. Don't lie, raise your hand. Go ahead. Everybody. I got a sister. Oh my God, it's another story. But you got to create your own world. You got to do your own thing. You deserve it. You only have one chance in this life, right? You deserve it. You guys deserve it? Yes. Okay, I want you to take 60 seconds right now, and I want you to stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on. Get out of the box here. Stand up. You don't have to shake hands, but I want you to turn around and meet somebody that you don't know. Tell them where you're from. Meet your coworker. Let's go. Meet somebody. Hi. I want you to go to Facebook or Instagram. Do we work for the best company in Las Vegas? Yeah! You guys willing to show everybody that you do? Okay, let's get out of your comfort zone. I want you to go to Facebook Live. I want you to go to Instagram Live. I want you to get uncomfortable, because uncomfortable becomes comfortable with practice and action. So you're going to do a video right now, and you're just going to say in the video, "I work for the best company in the world, EXP Realty. I've been with them this many years. I have the best broker, Spencer Walden. The best associate broker, Paul May. We got the best team in the world. Start, go, do Facebook Live. Tell them where you're at. Go. Come on. There you go. They're going to see how EXP does it in Las Vegas. Right here. Right? Like, some of you are really good at it. Some of you are sitting down going, "Oh, this is really uncomfortable. I already did it." Don't push me. Don't push me to do it. Don't make eye contact with me. People like Aaron Mills, oh my God, every 5 minutes, he's great at social media. I'm the worst at it, by the way. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Now post. If you don't know how to post, just look for somebody that's 25 and younger. They'll help you. Take a look. They'll help you.
There he is, Aaron Taylor, the real estate
The
guy.
real estate guy. You guys know that jingle? Okay, we're going to move forward. Thank you for doing that, playing that game. I appreciate it. That's fun. Guys, we're going to have somebody else come up, but before we get, you have some paper in front of you. One of them is, if you really wish to know who you are and what you are capable of doing, when we go over this, I want you to be truthful to yourself. Guys, you know what stopped me from going from 50 transactions to 300?
She's getting.
I could have did it sooner. You know what stopped me from being with EXP 5 years ago and not 3 years ago? Anybody know? Ego. I own my own company. I thought I was all that in a bag of chips. Man, I signed the checks. I do what I want. I make $1 million a year. I had to throw the ego out the door, and I'm getting really good at it now. Do I still have an ego? Of course I do. Everybody does. But I don't mind cleaning the toilets. I talk to JT about that all the time. I own the building that I am. I will literally clean the toilet. I don't mind knocking on someone's door. I don't mind asking for help anymore. There's a guy named Chris Nevada in Reno that does twice as many transactions than me. He's the #1 agent in the state of Nevada. I'm number 2. It pisses me off. Right? Because it pisses me off. But when we had the EXP con, I took him to dinner. I paid for dinner, of course, right? I asked him questions. He's helped me with my business. If you guys know somebody that's doing double what you're doing, or that's doing where you want to go, they'll help you. Guys that are successful, that make money, they understand the way to get there is by helping more people. When you really get to that level. That's what took, right, Janessa? She's been with me 15 years. That's my marketing director, Janessa. She's wonderful, by the way. You got to throw the ego out the door. Today, when we talk further and we talk about things, be honest with yourself. You can't take the next step if you're not honest with yourself. You have to be. You guys get that? The alibis, the excuses, it's miserable. Sam started being honest with himself. Aaron Mills started being honest with himself. Everybody else. So, the next person we have coming up for a few minutes is we now have here's something else, you guys. I'm going to teach you something else. How many times have you did a Facebook post or a video and you went, oh shit, I'm going to change it? Oh wait, my hair didn't look good. How many times have you guys done that? Never do it. One take, keep it raw, keep it the way it is. People want to know who you are. People love you for being you. I don't care if you burp, fart, choke, whatever in the video, just keep it raw. I'm just telling you because here's the bottom line. When your business goes from here to here is when people know you're genuine and that you really care about them and you're not pretending to be somebody else. I'm not going to be perfect today. I'm just not. I'm going to fall over my words. I'm going to make some mistakes. I'm going to do some stupid stuff. So are the speakers. But you know what? Our intention is what? Our intention is good. Right? People will see that. I hope that you guys see that. Do you guys see that? Yes. All right, let's get Jen up here with landmark title. Jen. Right now, everybody's thinking, oh my God, all right, the inspector, the title company, the lender's coming next. I know it. Who else?
It's not working. No.
Maybe we'll get it to work, or I'll give you mine. Is it on?
It's on. Oh, there we go. All right, thank you.
Okay, there's Jen, my friend Jen. I love her. She's our escrow officer. She does great. She's going to tell you a little bit about her and the company. Go.
So, good morning. First off, thank you guys for coming. I'm really excited to tell you about Landmark. They're recently in Vegas, almost 2 years now. But they have a background with Shattuck for 20 years across the country, and we have affiliates in 38 different states. Excuse me, I'm not as good as a public speaker as Aaron and Sam. They're amazing and hard acts to follow. You got this, girl. Okay, you're doing great.
No, you're doing great, girl. Just be yourself. Come on. You got it.
So, let's see. So we're developing a marketing team right now. We don't have one, but we're going to have a team that you can utilize to help with your marketing needs. That's really exciting. Also, before escrow, I was in the industry for over 10 years. I got the pleasure of working with Aaron Taylor and his team, and they're amazing. I'm excited to work with them again. Let's see what else, sorry. So sorry, guys.
You're doing great, Dan.
You know, so this is why I'm great at escrow. You know, so what we bring to the table, what are issues with escrow? People complain about communication, right? Delays, and it's unacceptable. We can't have it. We try to make ourselves as accessible as possible. My email signature has my cell phone on it. I can be reached after hours on the weekends, and if I'm busy with my kids, I'll text and let you know, hey, let me get back to you. That's, you know, we just try to make a very cohesive working relationship. We want you to come back. We don't want your clients to be mad that you had a delay in closing because our mistakes reflect back on you because you sent them to the title company. So, you know, we keep that in mind, and, you know, if there's ever issues, excuse me, sorry guys, just don't be afraid to let us know and set your expectations of what you want. We'll tailor your experience within the limit of the law, of course, but we'll work with what you need. Okay? Also, we offer a 30% discount on escrow fees if you mention us in the purchase contract or list it on the listing in the MLS verbiage. On top of that, let's see, a lot of agents don't know about binder policies. I don't know if you're familiar. If you have any investor clients, they're really great because it's a 10% increase on the title insurance cost. And if they sell or flip that home within a 2-year period, they could ride that same title policy and save them on average $1,000 per transaction. So that's really important. Lastly, we're going to have a raffle. So you're all seated, but I don't have my business cards because we ordered them before Christmas. Still don't have them. Gotta love the supply. But I have a bin back there with the rate sheets. If you can put your card in there, and later on in the day, Aaron will pull a winner, and we will send you an electronic Starbucks gift card for $100. And then I will also email you so you have my contact information, and we can open that line of communications. You can ask me any questions. Yeah, we'd be really excited to work with you guys, and thank you for bearing with me and the opportunity to speak with you guys.
Well, I want to help you guys with something because what she just did is so important to the growth of you guys. What she did was she was very nervous. I know she's very uncomfortable. But she can't get to where she wants to be in her life without feeling that feeling. Do you guys get that?
Yes.
You know the feeling when you're standing on a cliff and you're looking down and you're afraid of heights and you get that, oh my God, right? Yep. Or the public speaking. Like some of you probably are terrified of public speaking. If I got you up here and said, start talking, you might be like, what? This is growth for her. It's growth for my son. It's growth for Doug. It's growth for everybody that comes up here. You guys get that? You have to feel that every day. If you don't feel that uncomfortableness, you're not going to the next level. You have to push yourself through that. Right? It's so easy to revert back to just, oh, that's not me. I don't do that. Well, damn it, do you want to grow or you don't want to grow? Who wants to grow? Who wants to make more money? You got to grow. You got to do these things. Thank you, sir. You're going to do fantastic. Don't see her again of that. Next time she's up here, she's going to grab the mic and go, I got this. Growth is so important, you guys. It's so important. Uncomfortable becomes comfortable with practice and action. Write that down, please. That's something that I live by my entire life. How many people like to make phone calls and contacts and ask people for business? I know Sam does, Aaron does. See my people? Good. If you raise your hand, you're on your way. Uncomfortable becomes comfortable with practice and action. The practice part is so key. Even for a broker, even for our appraiser, even for everybody, guys. I don't care if you're a billionaire. They keep pushing themselves. You have to push yourself. What do you got to lose? How many lives do you have? Are you a cat or are you a human? I think, if I recall, you only have one, right? And let me ask you this, is tomorrow guaranteed? Nope, I got a call yesterday from a friend of mine that I went to high school with. Her sister died. A cancer, diagnosed, done in 60 days. She was a triathlon. Stella Gomez was her name. That's crazy, right? 60 years old. How many people die at 50? Just drop dead, get in a car accident. You have one life to live. That's it. Live it to the fullest. Call someone and tell them you love them. Make a phone call and ask them for business. Just be uncomfortable. Do something you haven't done before. If there's something you like and you want to ask them out, go ask them out. You laugh. Who are the single people in here? Stand up. Let me see. Single people, stand up. Come on. Who's single? I want you to take a good look at yourselves. Take your phone out and take some pictures because there's opportunity here. Okay, sit down. That was your opportunity. I gave you the shot. Now you know. Ask that person out, man. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this, right? Come on. Symptoms of lack of persistence. I'm going to fumble through this, but I'm going to do the best I can. The reason I wanted to talk about this, guys, is because it's something I normally don't talk about. So what did I do to myself? I pushed myself, right? Have you read the book Think and Grow Rich? Love that book. I'm on my second time going around with it. This is part of it. Here you'll find, oh, before I do that, has everybody got a raffle ticket?
Yes.
No? Yes. Raise your hand if you haven't. The real estate kid or somebody will bring it to you. We're going to give away some secret, keep your hand up so we can see us. Secret DVDs, Think and Grow Rich, and I have some great, who likes Grape Street Cafe in downtown Charlotte? I got a couple gift cards. Jen, you did such a good job. We're going to give you a couple gift cards to Grape Street Cafe. You did amazing. There you go. And you're just so darn cute, you're going to get one. You're welcome. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to give this young lady one because she's engaging. And we have more to give. Here you will find the real enemies that stand between you and the noteworthy achievements. If you really wish to know who you are and what you're capable of doing, we're going to go through this and be honest with each other. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to go through some of them, okay? And we're going to talk about it. If you guys want to engage, if you want to speak, raise your hand. Give us your opinion. I learned too. When I go in the icon, the icon meetings that you have, that icons go in and teach, I learn more from the other three people on the panel than I do me talking. I sit there and write notes. It's so cool. I picked up something last year, and I sent it. Bobby's going to talk about database, and I'm going to give you scripts later after the break. But, so after the break, do come back, because it gets better, I promise you. It gets better. But last year, I copied something from somebody. I call it the Hallmark theory. Well, I went online and I got a pack of 3 of relish, ketchup, and mustard. And I sent it to all my A-plus people. A-plus people are the people that refer me. Not the people that use me. There's hundreds of those. The people that refer me, there's 157 of them. And I sent them a picture of, guess who? Me, of course! With a nice little note that says, I relish our relationship. I just thought it would be time to catch up. Because the real estate guy knows how to cut the mustard. Kind of cute, right? Yes. I stole it from somebody.
I stole it from you.
You stole it from me. You just use it. Use these things. 2 types of people in the world. The ones that do it, the ones that don't. Be the doer. Be the ones that do. Get off your ass and do it. Let's go. Number 1, failure to recognize and clearly define exactly what you want. Write down what you want. What do you want? Don't say I want $1 billion. Don't throw it out there like that. But if you make $20,000 a year, well, maybe throw out 100. You'll get it. Another thing I challenge for you guys too. Now I'm going to walk around the room. Some people are going to write stuff down. Some people don't. The ones that succeed, write. The ones that don't. I'm just telling you. I'm not here to make friends. I'm just telling you, there is a guy named Marshall Silver 4 years ago that held me to the fire. I paid $50,000 for him to be my coach. He held me to the fire. When I fucked up, he told me I did. Excuse my French. He did. He told me right through my core who I was. When I was full of shit, he told me I was full of shit. Sometimes you need someone in your life to do that, right? Be truthful to yourself. Write down what you want and then put it on a board at home and put it someplace where you can look at it every day. It just doesn't have to be financial. It could be relationship. It could be your feeling. I like to be happy. Another story. I got full of stories. You guys notice that? Are you tired of my stories? No. Okay, another story. The other day I talked to my friend named Ed. On COVID, you got people on the left, people on the right. Ed's calling me up. He's the guy on the right. All this COVID's BS. They're doing this. They're trying to inject you with stuff so they can control you and ruin your life. Look at all the people dying, he said. Look at what the CDC just announced. 75% of the people did die. I mean, he's just enraged. And he's a good guy. This guy could be a minister. He's a great guy. But he's enraged with this. And I go, Ed, why do you feel like this? And then I talked to him. I said, man, can I help you? And he goes, yeah. He goes, what's your feeling on it? And I said, well, my feeling is that everybody who's telling you to take the shot because it cures the virus is trying to help you because they love you. The people that are saying don't take it because it's going to ruin you and they're trying to control you, they love you too. And they're trying to help you. See, I'm creating my own life. I'm creating my own happiness. Everybody is good. Everybody has good intentions. Everybody wants to help you. But whose choice is that? Mine. Am I happy? You guys that know me, am I happy? Yeah. If you don't see me happy, it's very rare. Right? Because Mama said no to me that night or something. I don't know what it was, but I'm a happy guy. Because I choose to be happy. I just wanted to share you that story. And then he goes, okay, Aaron, I get it. Procrastination, with or without cause. We procrastinate. Who's procrastinators in here? Raise your hand. Be honest with each other. Hell, I'll raise my hand. We all procrastinate. Some more, some than others, right? And you wait till the end of the day and you're just miserable the whole day because you know you got to do it or the phone's going to ring. Get that out of the way right away. I'm just telling you. Make that call. Call Mr. Lee right away in the morning, Shay. Just get rid of it. Lack of interest in acquiring special knowledge. Something else to write down. Knowledge and confidence is the best clothes. You guys get that? You know who the smartest guy in the room is when it comes to Nevada law? Say it out loud.
The guy who knows the most.
Spencer. I'm telling you right now, he is. I'll put him up to anybody. I know him. That's why he's our broker. He's the smartest with Nevada law. Spencer doesn't have to be a good salesperson. When you hear him talk about Nevada law, I'm in. He's protecting me. Knowledge, the more you know, the more confident you're going to be. When you're confident, people will gravitate towards you. So every single day, go in the world. Learn something in the world. Go to a training. Go to our class on Tuesday. Pick something up. Go to YouTube. What's a 1031 exchange? What's FHA mean? What's the inventory right now? What did we sell last month? Knowledge, guys. You have to have it. When you have knowledge, you have confidence, you can stand up here and talk about anything. Preparation, too. Something else. Preparation. When you have a buyer or a seller, prepare before you meet your client. Rehearse. When I started in this business, there was no lockboxes like we have now. I think we have keys. I don't remember so long ago. But before I showed a client houses, I used to go preview them all before I took the client. Because I wanted to know before I walked in the house what the house was about. I wanted to sell them the house. Is selling good? Who salespeople in here? Please raise your hand. You're salespeople. Salespeople's a good word. When I first started in sales, I'm not a salesperson, I just help people. Shut up! No, I'm a salesperson. That means I care enough about the other person to help them make a decision that's best for them. Right? That means I know my job, and I know what they want, and I help them make a decision that's best for them. Don't buy the house that backs up Buffalo and Durango. That's not good for you. Don't buy the 3-bedroom, get the 4-bedroom because your family's growing. Your wife's pregnant right now. You know it's growing. Let's get the 4-bedroom. You have to sometimes say things that they may not like, but you're there to help them. I go off in tangents. Guys, am I passionate about this? Yes. Yeah, I am. Sorry. I get a little crazy. The habit of relying upon alibis instead of creating definite plans or solutions to the problem. I can't do this today. I don't feel good. I can't do this today. I got to go to my child's thing at 1 o'clock. Well, what are you doing between 8 and 1? What are you doing after 2? I can't do this today. I have a hair appointment. I love this one. I can't get started because I don't have business cards. Oh my God, I want to punch you. And if I see another picture with a cute girl that says, which photo should I use, this one or this one? Who cares? I don't care. That doesn't get you business. Does it get you business?
Nope.
Matter of fact, handing business cards don't get you business.
No.
What gets you business? Getting information, creating a database, adding people to your database, making fans of yourself. That's what gets business. Enough of the alibis. If you ever have to do something, what else do I say? If it feels uncomfortable, it's usually the right thing to do. If there's an alibi from you doing something, that means it's probably the right thing you should do. If you're trying to create excuses on not to do it, provided it's safe, right? Provided it's safe, it's probably the right thing to do. Just think about it for a moment right now. What lately have you said, I'm not going to do that because of this? Or I'm not going to make that phone call because of this? If you think about it, it probably was the right thing to do. If anything, it gave you growth. Like Jen getting up here today. I'm telling you right now, that girl was shaking in her boots. I felt it. That girl was nervous. But I'm so proud of her, and I'll tell you what, right now she's feeling a sense of accomplishment. She muscled through it. Right? When you call up a client, which Bobby's going to go over later with you, and you call that client up and you go, oh, by the way, Ashley, if you're going to buy or sell a house, or had a friend or a family member that was, am I the agent you would use to refer business to? And they say no. And you say, why? Because you're new and you don't know anything. I'm not going to spend $500,000 and use you. Why should I? You don't even know your job. And you feel that pain inside? What's that called? That's growth. You have to have the no's. What's better, a yes or a no?
No.
It don't matter. You just need to know. If I call somebody and I ask them a question and they say no or yes, I don't care. You guys are getting caught up in the no's. The no's don't matter. The yeses don't matter. I just need to know. I need to know if you're going to use me to buy or sell a house. That's all I need. How am I doing on time? Am I moving, rocking and rolling? All right, we're gonna skip a few. Now, weakness and desire due to neglect and the choice that the motives that impel your action. Don't neglect the things you're supposed to do, that you need to do, that you know you have to do. On the table is a list that I'm not going to go over today, but it's 6 items. There's another sheet of paper. There's 6 items. On those 6 items, the first 3, everybody does when you make your plan. Matter of fact, next Tuesday, if you come to my office, we're going to go over them in detail. The first 3, everybody does. The last 3 is where people have the problem with. But the one I like there the most on that 6 items is the one that I've always done, because I fail 99% of the time. You guys know that? I fail more things than I win. But you only have to win one. And you don't know if you're consistent either. But you just got to get started. That's the one thing of those 6 items that I love. You got to get started. After you plan and do this and preparation and put it, you just got to get started. Right? I remember when I got my real estate license 20-something years ago, I failed the test 3 times. Who's failed the test more than once? Who passed it on your first time, let me say? Oh, you guys are sick. Thank God it doesn't determine your income. Let me tell you that. Because I would be one poor dude. I failed 3 times. Well, in the midst of failing, I had a party at my house because I was so excited about becoming a real estate agent. I invited all my neighbors and everybody I know to my house. That I was a real estate agent. Well, guess what? They all came. Was I a real estate licensee? No, I failed it. Did I care? No. I did it. Anybody else would have canceled it. I can't get started yet. I don't have business cards. My license isn't transferred. I can't make a phone call. What are you talking about? Can't you let people know what you're doing and what you plan on doing? Next year, my body is going to look like that guy's right there. This guy? I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say, my body is going to look like him. And I'm going to have a party the way I am right now, with this fat stomach, and I'm going to say I'm going to look like him. Who cares? Get started. Stop waiting. Right? No alibis, no excuses. You guys want to succeed in 2022? You guys have your plan for 2022?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's execute it. You're going to learn some things later on how to execute some of that stuff. Willingness and eagerness to quit first, the sign of defeat. Most agents, I've seen agents over and over again in my life. I train them, they get there, they learn the scripts. They're getting to the sweet stuff. Right? They're just about to jump over the cliff. And what do? Quit. Oh, it's too hard. I'm going to go back to selling shoes. Okay. They quit. You got to stay with the fight. Keep it up. Stay with the fight. Be consistent. The winners are consistent. You can do the wrong thing over and over again and still come out ahead a little bit. But as you start losing and losing, you start learning how to win a little bit more. But don't quit. Quitting's no fun. Right? Quitting's contagious. Yeah, Jen? It is, huh? We don't quit, huh? Do we quit, Bart?
Hell
No, we don't quit, huh?
no.
Now, Bart Sloan, by the way, he's our team leader. He's going to come up and talk to you a little bit later of all of our programs that we have in place, especially for our media team. We got some really good stuff. Lack of organization, plans. Place it in writing so you can analyze it. So people, when I ask them, hey, do you got your goals for 2022? Yes. What are they? Well, I'm going to do this and this and this. Show it to me. Well, dude, I didn't write them down. I got them in my head. Okay, that's not being committed, right? Be proud of them. Who wants to stand up and tell me? Matter of fact, don't even do it yet. I'm going to prep you. Who can stand up? I'm going to prove a point. Who can stand up, not only tell me what their 2020 goals are, goals, but show it to me in writing, where you have it. Sam, Aaron, this young lady, that you're proud of them. Who wants to stand up and grab the microphone? Not you, Sam. You want to stand up and tell us what they are? Come on, grow a little bit. Just stand up and tell everybody who you are. Give her a round. Here, come up here. Hello, 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 hello. Let's see.
I'm loud enough.
Okay, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rivette Berry. Nice to meet you guys. Well, one of my goals is my fitness goals. I have some fitness goals that I'd like to get back into my prime shape. Even though I'm in good shape, I still have aspirations to get in even better shape and to be healthier with my meals, because when I'm healthier, I feel better, I do better, I wake up earlier, I don't sleep in, and so that's really important to also succeed my business goals, for me to feel healthy and have more energy. So that's my prime focus, is my business this year. And I plan on growing my business tremendously. I do have actual figures of what I want to make. I'm not exactly comfortable sharing them with everyone.
But wait. Share it.
Okay.
Share it, because here's why. If you share it, you're going to commit it. And everybody's going to know it. You know what, if you fail? Ooh, we're going to go, oh, she didn't make it. She's a loser! That's why we don't do it. Do it. Share it.
Okay, so I want to clear at least $15,000 a month. That's after taxes and after. So I'm not exactly sure what the math is. Maybe making $20,000 or above and say, oh, doesn't matter the math. Right. So my goal is and to really enhance into commercial real estate and helping investors with multifamily residents and stuff like that. So.
All right. Great job. So, when you get to the level where you'll just talk about it, like I'm going to give you guys an example. And by the way, I'm not bragging. I'm just comfortable in my own skin. right? I know I'm going to get there. So our goals are 10, 20, 30, 40. 10 is the number of agents that I'm going to help get to the level that they want to get to.
Let's go.
Right? Let's do this. Let's go. Because that's what's most important. Who I'm going to help. 20. We're going to do not 10 million a month in business, but 20 million a month. That's a big statement, right? 20 million a month. 30 is the number of agents that we're going to put on our direct team. I don't care if they're with EXP or not. We're going to put them on our team, we're going to show them the system, they're going to work their ass off, and we're going to get them to make money. 40 is the number of transactions we're going to do every single month. Yes, as a real estate guy group, yeah. But I know it in here, and I'm not afraid to say it. If you go by my office, you'll see it on the door, you'll see it on the back, you'll see it in my shower. 10, 20, 30, 40. I tell people about it because guess what? If I shoot for the stars and I get to the moon, did I still go to outer space? Still good. You think if I get to 29 agents and we only did 18 million a month and we only did 37 transactions, am I going to kill myself? No. But I know I can get there. I know I can do it. Searching for shortcuts. I love this one. I know we have to take a break. Give me 3 more minutes, we'll take a break. What's that? Oh, my Brent's time. I'm going to go real fast. I got to do this. Because this one's a good one. Searching for shortcuts to riches. Trying to... Okay, this is hilarious. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it with this. I want honesty here. Who joined EXP because at the revenue share, I'm going to recruit agents and be a millionaire. Oh, you liars. You guys are liars. Come on, some of you did. Tell me the truth. I know, it got me excited. Right? There's a video on YouTube from, it's called Lake Tahoe, and Brent Gove is there. You guys know who he is, right? It's a lady that's teaching you how to do third-party calls. She is incredible. Now I do third-party calls with my team. So successful. There's a process to it. It'll help you with your business. Google it and watch it. It's about an hour. But there's no quick, rich schemes. There's no quick, rich gimmicks. Okay, if you didn't get an EXP because of that, who joined real estate because 3% of 100,000 was $3 grand? Okay, it's not. You know it's 500 now, right? It is. There's no shortcuts to this business. You have to pay the piper. You have to pay your dues. You have to learn it the right way. Start learning it the right way after today. When you come back after Brent, then you come back to a break. Bobby's going to show you a lot of the right way, and we're going to go over some scripts. So you guys having fun so far? He tells you the truth, and he helps you. And let's face it, appraisers are drier than hell, right? Not this guy. So let me bring up Brent Jones. Go on.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear myself. Good morning. Good morning. Come on, this is appraisal. Good morning. Good morning. Come on, I'm not going to sit up here and try and bring the room down. How's everybody feeling about appraisers? We suck, right? How many of you have had a deal come in low in the last 6 months? How many of you knew it? Right? Isn't that always the question? So I've got a short period of time here to talk. Okay, well, I'm going to need that. So I'm just going to cover a couple things that are important. What do you guys care about? You care about when a deal comes in low, right? That's all you care about. You don't want to get that phone call.
Well, you didn't get the picture up.
Well, you didn't get my picture up? I had the best picture of a guy folded over his computer after it said he got the call from the loan officer. Dustin called and said, got bad news, appraisal came in 20,000 low. What do you do now? Oh God, I got to go back to the buyer. Oh God, I got to go back to the seller. Who wants to do that? Do you guys think appraisers want to come in low? Anybody? Do you know why? Because everybody then wants to read the report. We don't want you guys reading the report. We don't want you to understand it. We don't want you to come back to us and go, well, you didn't use this comp. Okay, that's what we get. So, if an appraiser comes in low, it's because one of two people have not done their homework. Or three. The appraiser, he could be wrong, never wrong. Aaron, have I ever been wrong?
Never.
Ever.
Always
okay. So, we created this checklist for you. Gonna go real quick, and if you guys ever want to have a longer training, I'm more than happy to sit with you for an hour. We can go over a lot of topics. Paul Mann was going to try and stump me on solar today. I'm not going to do that because I don't know how to value solar. Anybody? Anybody know how to value solar panels? Shit, I don't either. Okay. First up, biggest mistake, okay? We do not average sales prices. Okay, don't take the 1,200 square foot one story when you've got an 1,800 square foot two-story subject. Don't do it. It's not right. It's always going to sell for a higher price per square foot. Okay, don't make that mistake. And especially, don't hand the CMA that you did to the appraiser and say, well, here's my average price per square foot, and this is how I price the property. Kiss of death. Okay? Number two. I use the most recent proximate similar closed sales. Okay, in the old days, we just want to make a deal work. We'd go out 1.5 miles, we'd go 2 miles, we would do whatever it took to make the deal go. Those days are over. In fact, there's going to be a big change in appraisal coming up. So, how many of you guys wish appraisers weren't part of this deal at all? It won't hurt my feelings. Go ahead. How many of you wish? Well, that's a pretty good group. Most of them go, we hate you. We don't like you. We don't want you anywhere near this deal. So last year at the Mortgage Bankers Conference, the head of FHFA, who runs Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, announced to a room full of mortgage brokers that they are going to make desktop appraisals permanent. Did you know how the room reacted? Everybody went from where you are. The whole room exploded because in some markets, not this market, you go to Reno, guess what? It's 3 weeks, maybe a month turn time. Fees, $1,000. Washington, Oregon. We have it so good here, whether it be a lender, an appraiser, because it's an easy place to appraise. Okay, so this new desktop, you may not meet the appraiser anymore. Okay, you may not see him. So what does that mean? That means pricing your property is going to be the most important thing that you can do, okay? So, here's the other things, real quick. Did I make that noise? All right. How many of you know that you can go to the county assessor and get a floor plan on 99% of the homes? Okay, you do now, okay? You go to the Clark County assessor, building sketch, you'll see it goes real property, building sketch, you put in the parcel number. First thing, make sure you got the right house. Okay, it happens. I had a horror story. A lady bought cash, 1,500 square foot home. She thought, okay, we went to appraise it. She sold 3 months later. It was 1,100 square feet. Didn't have a loft addition like they said. The builder doesn't always put the right property that's being assessed. So, first thing, check that. Make sure you've got the right property, okay? The second thing, really super important, when you get a deal under contract, do not just go, okay, well, I'll wait for the appraiser to call me. Run new comps. The biggest thing I see, whether it's in our review company or in the appraisal management company, is this new comp came sliding in and it was listed at $300,000 and it sold for $280,000 and you were banking on it and now it's $280,000. You better have a damn good reason to explain to the appraiser why that happened. Okay? So, run a new set of comps. Make sure that your sales that you use to price the property are still the same ones. Okay? Does that make sense? All right? Multiple offers over list. How's that? How many times is that happening these days? Every time. Everybody knows, okay, that in order to get a property accepted, you've got to come in over list. But you know what? The other thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you're not burying your buyer, or number two, that they got cash to be able to take out of their pocket. Okay? The other thing you need to take into account when you're at a listing presentation and you've got your comps out laid out for the seller, realize that if that deal goes FHA or VA, chances are those sales concessions that the seller paid are going to be deducted dollar for dollar off that comp. So think about what's the net to seller. when you're discussing with your seller. Go, look, we have a Comfort 300. He had to pay $7,500 in seller concessions. He netted $292,000. I'll go ahead and list that property for $300, but let's set the expectation, okay, that this could happen. Setting the expectation is the biggest thing that you can do for both your buyers and your sellers as to what the appraisal process is going to take into account, because everything we do gets watched, okay? We've got an underwriter, and we've got Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac giving us a score, okay? They score every file, as does HUD. If you get an FHA deal, it goes to a reviewer in Santa Ana. They're looking at it too, okay? Appraisers don't get paid to shoot the moon, okay? We're not there to make your deal happen. So it's critical that if you're on the listing side, how many of you meet the appraiser at the property? Okay, next time I come here and talk, I want everybody to raise their hand, okay? Because let me tell you what, and you'll be able to tell whether the appraiser's amenable to getting what it is you have. If he's should have retired, a little grumpy, okay? You get, right? That guy hasn't showed up, right? Okay, you know, we're tired. I'm old. We're all old. The average age of an appraiser is 57. Okay, we're dying, as Aaron said. I'm a spry 65. I'm feeling pretty tough, right? All right. So you meet the appraiser. Put a package together for the appraiser. Hey, he comes in. You go, look. I know you know your job. I just wanted to show you what I use to price the property. And get out. Okay? And don't leave the seller there alone with him, because he's going to tell us about the pool table that's included, or about the mold they had to repair. Okay? I swear to God, it happens all the time. I had one lady goes, well, the first deal fell out because there was a sex offender on the street. No shit. Okay? That happens. Okay? Do not leave your seller alone. Give the appraiser the package. Get out of his way, give him the upgrades, give him the costs, give him everything, and give him the comps that you didn't use, if you know something about them. Okay? You guys, if you're farming in a neighborhood, you know more than I do about it. You know who the sale was, you know whether it was a divorce, an ugly one, and I don't know anything about that either. Okay? So, be prepared. Okay? And when you're on the buyer's side, you know what? You're kind of stuck. You see a list price, and the guy says, well, I got 5 offers on this already. You know what? Sometimes valuing a property just gets kind of thrown out with the bathwater. Nothing you can do about it. So, what I want to show you today, how much time do I have, Aaron?
Ask Janessa.
All right, so you are technically already over.
I'm over? Okay. All right.
You just keep going, buddy.
Okay. Then I'm going to give you guys, you are the first real estate group to see this product. I work with a company called Quantarium. They do all of our quality control reports for our appraisal management company. And I went to them and I said, look, I use this as an appraiser to review appraisals. I said, why don't we create a version for realtors to give them, and like Aaron said, to give back, to give you guys a clue of how we do things, okay? And so what we have done is we have computer modeled a CMA for about 95% of the country, okay? Now, what does this mean for you? First off, how many of you have gone into a home and the guy says, well, Zillow says, or Redfin says, or Ownerly says, or Realist says, right? Okay? This tool is created to get that guy off that number, unless it's right, okay? So, that's what it's designed for. Most CMAs, okay, give you an actual value, okay? We only give a value when you put it in. So we give you an estimated range, and we position you as the expert in putting that number in based on the comps that you select, okay? And, boy, we got the wrong PowerPoint. Yeah, how about that? Anyhow. That's all right. You know what? We're going to get... Hey, a guy spilled coffee on my leg over here. You know what? Nothing's going right. Like he said.
Hey, I want to know who sent through this one.
Huh?
Who sent her this one?
No, this is, never mind, I've had it with you already. All right, so this is designed to help you explain to your clients what and how you're going to price this property. We have an automated version that you can use off your phone when you're at a house. You put in the address, and guess what? You're going to be able to see the best comps that this machine learning has picked. And you'll be able to do it right there instead of, oh, I'm going to go back and run a CMA. It'll be right there at your fingertips. If you are a listing agent, if you are at a listing, you are going to have access to these heat maps, and you can do searches by GLA, by value, by lot size. This is the most interactive interface I've ever seen. And it will, I promise you, it will blow your seller away. And without you having to, you don't need to be a statistician for this. So, you pick your comps. It's got a likeness score, so you can see what the machine learning has said about that comp, whether it thinks it's the most similar. You can put your listings in to show them what his competition is. The adjustments use machine learning and regression. Hey, you don't need to know any of that, but it's there. And what it does is it gives you the option, after you've looked at everything, to put in the value. Okay? You're the expert. Okay? We are going to be rolling this out by the second quarter. EXP, we're going to go ahead and I would love to have any of you who are interested in being a beta tester for this. My phone number, and I'm going to give you this for a couple reasons. My phone number, write it down, 702, you can call me the appraisal guy. How about that? That's freaking catchy. I'm never doing another radio show.
Let me ask you, is Chris Sullivan our attorney here yet? And I'll find out if we can say that.
All right, 702-591-7245. I also want to introduce my marketing director, Sarah Price. She's right there. She's the one who's going to be working with you. She's our realtor and lender liaison. Guys, take advantage of this product. The most this product is going to cost you is $10 a month. Okay? Unlimited use. If you're prospecting and you say, hey, the people, well, what do you think my house is worth? You'll be able to run this report. You'll be able to see all the comps. You're going to see all the adjustments. You're going to have a picture of where you think that is. And you're also going to be able to see what the market's doing. I'm going to finish on this. How many of you know what the inventory is today? Little over 2,500 homes. Every morning, wake up, put in Harmon Street in your map, and then draw a circle all the way around the valley and put in active listings. 2,500. How many sold last month? 3,800. What does that tell you? If you want to know whether the market or trying to explain to your client what the market's doing, those numbers tell everything. Be prepared. Okay? That's good information, super easy. As an appraiser, I do it, I'd like to say every day, but I don't. Because it was up at 4,000 just a little bit ago. Now it's down to 2,500. So have that kind of information. This report is designed to make you look like the smartest person in the room. If you're a new agent, this report will elevate your game incredibly. If you're doing the luxury end and you want to sit down with and show them the heat maps and the different price ranges, guess what? No better tool than this for you. And the other part that's good, and then hold on a sec. This is what the cover looks like. Okay? And we put this as online values testing for you, okay? Because we know that there's so much misinformation out there. And we have the ability to have you on it as the person doing the analysis and a sponsoring agent. Do you guys know Dustin DeHart? Yep. Dustin, I got to tell you what, I've done your radio show how many times?
Probably 8.
With your head shaved, I didn't know who you were. I had to ask John, is Dustin here? He's probably going, you know what, you don't even recognize me. Wait a minute. So, this is an opportunity for you to co-market with your loan officer. Because guess what, every time you use it, the loan officer knows too. So, it gives you something to try and get your loan officer involved with your sellers. As well as, you know what? Doing refis, they can refer back business to you. Okay? It's about serving the customer. So anyhow, that's the front page of the report. I can take a couple questions unless we're... Go ahead. Brooke. Yeah?
Is that the name of the software was one of my questions, is QCMA, or what's the name of the software?
The name of the product is QCMA. It's not. It's still in development. But
and one more question: does it can you automate what you're putting adjustments in for? Because every time I do a CMA, it's like I have to adjust for the bathrooms, for the bedrooms, for the pool. It would be helpful if I could automatically put those figures as it for me.
yeah, I'm trying to find the screen for it, but it's not in here. It will give you the automated values, and it'll give you the ability to override it. So if you go, oh, it's adjusting $70 a foot, and you think it's 100, you can actually put that in, it'll populate all the way across. It's set up to be very user-friendly. In fact, some of the comps will even show a little hammer by him and a wrench, and that's going to tell you that it was reported in the MLS comments that it needed work. Okay, so it's very intuitive. It's not going to replace what you do. Okay, you're still going to pull your 3 comps. But this is about presentation value. Okay, and if you've got a buyer who's looking at 5 houses, I mean, you really want to pull comps on all 5 houses? How about throwing an address, boom, print your PDF, and if they like it, you can go, it's here. Wow. Okay, so it's cool. Listen, I've been doing this 30 years, and this is actually been a dream of mine to create something that will bridge the gap between you guys and us. Because we do the same thing. You guys have a much tougher audience. You got a seller who thinks this house is worth $1 million, right? Or you got a buyer who's going, looking at it, go, can I trust you? I just have to work with a bank, but we do the same thing. We pick the same comps. And like I said, we can have a training if anybody wants to come. We can go into the different stuff like solar panels. Okay, basements or casitas, or how I adjust for livable area, how do we adjust for views, all of that kind of stuff. If you guys are interested in doing that, I'm more than happy to help. I'm committed to helping this franchise. Aaron Taylor, you are very inspirational. Sometimes a douche, but you're very inspirational. All right, guys, thanks for your time.
Hey, two quick stories. I want to tell you how good it is to have this guy's phone number. This was just recently. I mean, I talk to Brent all the time. I listed a house in Summerlin. The seller wanted $850. There was no inventory, so there's really, the highest sell was $785. That was the highest sell. So I knew there's no way it's going to come. I've done this long enough to know that it's not going to come. So we sold it for $850, and but I think I put something in there that the buyers, and they had to pay at least $800. And they were paying like $20,000 or $15,000 over appraisal, right? So worst case scenario, my client was going to get like $815, right? We put that in there. I didn't even think he was going to appraise at $8. So I called up Brent. Now I go to a lot of the appraisers, a lot of the appraisals, and I pull up, there's my card, it says a real estate guy in the back, and I can just see the appraiser's face. And as soon as they see me, they're like, okay, great. Right? Right, here. That's exactly. So I called up Brent, and I go, Brent, I got this house, it's $850, man. I just know for sure this was not going to appraise. Any advice? Like, should I really, because I was second guessing. Should I really go meet the appraiser? Should I really give him a call, give her a call? And I think I told you who she was. You said, yes, just be honest with her. Just tell her, okay, I know I pulled a rabbit out of a hat here. I know it's high. I just want to let you know. And then she goes, well, if you have any, I told her, I go, there's nothing that I'm going to give you that you can't see. I'm not going to pretend to know your job better than you do, I told her. I go, but there is some leeway. I'm just telling you, there's a little bit of leeway. I don't care what he says. There's a little bit of leeway. I had a great conversation with her. Guess what my appraisal came in? $822. Yes! I was so excited. One more story, and then I think we're going to bring up this young lady real quick. I'm going to tell you a story about her, then we're going to bring her up for a few minutes. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you all.
It was like 5-6 years ago. We sold the house for 1.1. I knew that appraisal wasn't coming in. It wasn't worth a penny over 800. The appraisal called me. I'm going to show up, right? I didn't show up. Guess what I did? I said to her, Yvonne showed up. Remember that, Yvonne? And guess what happened? I got 1.1.
What?
He goes, you guys are unbelievable. Yvonne was the best. I loved her. And then guess what happened? The lender had to do a second appraisal. Ah, shit. And I think we got a little lower, but we got...
How are you guys?
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So hopefully you all had an incredible start to your new year, and I'm assuming there's like two kinds of people in this room. So I'd say half of you is probably people that you are kicking major butt in real estate, and you're just excited to use this vehicle, use Aaron's tools and scripts, and just really kick it into the next year and just really do something huge with this. The other part of you might be a lot like I started out, and you might have some doubts and concerns, a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the industry. So I'm here to speak to you, but also, of course, just to just give some accolades to exactly what we have our hands on here. So, yeah, so Aaron pretty much already told my whole story. Thanks, Aaron. My talk is now going to be 3 minutes. But no, so I need to tell you a lot about me, just to really tell you how much value using his tools and using his scripts have been in my life and how much has changed me. I need to take a little step back and tell you a little bit about myself. So I did not know a thing to do with hair and makeup. I grew up in the woods in Maine on a farm. I did not make this up. I'm homeschooled. I did not grow up with a TV. I was pretty much, I did all the domesticated things. I got really good at cooking and sewing and drawing, and I'm an accomplished pianist as well. All that to say, none of that helped my people skills, my communication skills. I virtually didn't have to talk to a soul. So I was just very happily defaulting into being that introverted girl, because you don't have to talk to anybody or look at anybody when you're playing the piano. So anyway, come full circle, not to tell you my whole life story, I find myself in Vegas, of all places, not for performance or anything like that. I quickly found out after many years of training, it was going to be my life's goal to be a world traveling pianist. There's no money in that. Yeah, the starting musician thing is real. So anyway, I landed in Vegas. Okay, that's what we need to catch up with now. And so I was making okay money. I'm doing all right. You can get by in Vegas really well, especially if you look a certain way. And I was doing all right with my 2 jobs, and I somehow needed a 3rd job to make ends meet. And that's stupid, by the way. I was broke. Okay, so 3 jobs is for 3 people. Nobody should have to do that. But anyway, I was looking for this 3rd job. Thank God, because I came across this ad in Craigslist of all places. Back then, maybe it was a little better. Hey, fun fact, did you know like all the police that had put together those safe spots around town, you know what I'm talking about? You've seen them? Like they're on this like stands and tripods, use the blue light at night. I didn't know what the hell it was the first time I saw it, so I like drive up to what is it? Oh, that's nice. Because what do we have before that? You'd go meet some random stranger in a park under a tree, and well, we all know that's hella shady. So anyway, back to my story. So I answered this Craigslist ad, and it's for a front office manager for a real estate office. And real estate experience preferred, but not required. Man, so that both filled me full of hope. I'm like, hell, I would love to get my foot in the door in the real estate world. I know there's a lot of money in that. And then the second side of me was like, manager, like who the heck is going to give me a shot at manager? Like usually when you start brand new in a company, you kind of like, you just got to start from the bottom and then you eventually get there. And so I applied. And by the graces of God, I get a call the next day for an interview. I was super excited. And so it worked out really well. I was leaving one of my jobs at a hotel. I'm all suited and booted, excuse me. And I show up and I interview with Aaron Taylor and Mama Sue for the first time. And I don't know if any of you have ever met Mama Sue. Hopefully you get the privilege to meet her. She is one special lady. And the whole family there is incredible, but I only met those 2. It was him and his executive assistant. And I'm sure they had a boatload of questions for me. I know we talked a long time, but I really hit it off with him. There's a lot of self-made people, I should say, like self-employed people in my family. And I just saw a lot about what he was about in terms of like a lot of people that I was raised around. I'm like, man, I could take pride working for this guy. But 2 questions that he asked me really stick in my mind. And one was, are you willing to work hard and have fun at the same time? And also, hey, do you always look like that? Oh, well, I mean, I can. I'm used to it. Is that what you need here? Anyway, I love in real estate, you don't have to necessarily look a certain way. You just got to speak to the people you're working with. So anyway, so back to can you work hard and have fun? He went on to explain that a little more. It's not just You just work really hard and then we party at night, although that was, I think that was happening. You were doing at least 1 or 2 office parties after hours a month, by the way. He was definitely a partier. It was fun times, fun times. So that was my introduction to the industry. But no, so he said, what I mean is like we really work hard. We pull our weight here and then some. We're team players. We all wear many hats. Nobody in our office is allowed to say, well, it's just not my job. We work together, okay? But at the same time, you all need to have fun with what you do. Like if I barge into your office and I say 30 seconds dance break and you can't just drop everything and just dance it out for a second, well then it's not a good fit. And I looked at him and I'm like, are you serious? By the way, if you think I'm joking, that did happen and it does happen. So it's a really fun environment. You definitely just gotta, sometimes in this business, like I think somebody had mentioned, you get to your breaking point, you're like, oh my God, is this even worth it? Well, you know what, maybe just take the 30-second dance break. You know, it's okay and we're still alive. And you just gotta remember, is this gonna matter in 5 years? No, it matters to them. So take, you know, your best care of them, but it's not gonna matter in 5 years. But not to tell you and take too long, I know we gotta stop at a break here, but I just wanted to tell you that needless to say, I was hired and I loved the environment. I was there for less than a month and all of a sudden my world got turned upside down. I'm just grateful that Aaron gave me and saw some potential in me. Again, he's like, I don't have to teach you nice, you're nice, you like people, I can teach you everything else. I was really grateful he did that. Because again, I saw a lot of potential in the industry. Never in a million years did I see myself as a realtor. I can't sell a monkey, I mean a banana to a monkey. So yeah, I'm not in sales at all. At least that's what I was telling myself. So anyway, so yeah, my world got turned upside down less than a month later because my father passed away. And so I had to get on a plane and fly all the way back home to Maine and just kind of handle the immediate affairs. And it turned out that my father's will, it was a very complicated situation. He had an ongoing business. It wasn't just a cut and dry case. And so me and my eldest sister were executors and we had this huge decision to make. She lived in Maine, I lived in Vegas. I felt huge potential here in Vegas. I was starting a life here. I felt I was getting some traction finally, adulting in this world. And then my sister was there. And so we needed to decide which one of us was going to handle the affairs. And his attorney said that to really solidify it and help mom move on and everything financially, it would probably take up to 3 years. So basically turn off my life here, move back home, help mom. Not to be insensitive, but I felt hugely obligated to do that. But long before this happened, I felt so much obligation to be there for my parents when they got old. I didn't want to put them in a home. I just somehow knew that, you know, when they got to a point where they weren't working or they couldn't work or whatever, that I was going to be their sugar daughter and I was very excited to be that role one day. And so just knowing that in my heart, I'm like, okay, so if I stay here, even though I feel obligated to do that for my mom and take care of things, what's going to happen at the end of those 3 years? Everything's done, settled, great, and then what's left? I'm just going to hold hands with my mom, kumbaya, as we barely scrape by in life. I just didn't think that was serving her, even though emotionally it was, but I'm just thinking more logically. So I made the gut-wrenching decision and insensitive decision, probably maybe selfish to some, that I let my sister handle it. They both assured me no hard feelings, go for it. And I moved back to Vegas to seek out that potential that I saw and just see what I could do with life here. And of course, now coming back in Vegas, I had a different drive. I had different fuel to my fire. And I'm just so, again, grateful that Aaron saw a lot of potential in me. Yes, I saw those checks coming through. I didn't say anything. And of course, he's the one that keeps poking and asks all the great questions. You see those checks? You see those checks? How come they don't have your name on them? And I'm like, yeah, good question. Yeah. And anyway, he just really laid that seed in and really just assured me that being a realtor, it wasn't at all what I thought it was. Just showed me so much potential, gave me so much belief, and not to mention, like I said, these tools, these scripts. My people skills was just that I enjoyed people, I enjoyed knowing about them, talking to them, but that's nothing, no sales, no nothing. He taught me everything from the ground up. So who I am today is big thanks to Aaron. Thank you so much for growing my skills, my confidence, my business, my life, the fact that I can write checks to my mom for whatever she needs. It's really a blessing. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant, I'm just saying, like, These are tools that I just hope you know that when I worked with Aaron, yep, right, he was saying, I heard everything. I heard him talking to people, brand newest clients, talking to his old buddies, putting out fires, and just, I learned from osmosis. And just so you know, this was way before he had this awesome training that you probably, hopefully, have taken advantage of on Tuesdays. This was way before he had it all packaged up. So it's not just something that sounds nice, or that looks nice in a little training packet. These are exact words that he has used, tried and true for 25 years, that luckily now with wonderful staff like Janessa and many others, it is now put in a very organized fashion that we can now educate and duplicate and scale. And I hope you remember that. That's key right there for you. Because it's not like, oh, I'm gonna build myself. I keep doing that. I'm gonna build myself and I'm gonna grow myself, grow my business. But guess what? If you want, take advantage of this tool. You can actually scale yourself, duplicate yourself. Teach this, teach others to teach this. Anybody from your team can come to you, hey, I'm getting stuck here, and you know exactly what's going on because you all know the same stuff. So anyway, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everybody. If you're ready to really kick this into gear, drink the Kool-Aid like I did. So raise your proverbial glass of Kool-Aid, and let's cheers to an amazing 2022.
So Bob now is one of our 3 listing agents. And as a matter of fact, I loved her so much, I was slating her to just take over the real estate guy company, and then one day she told me, Aaron, I'm getting married to Jason. She met Jason in her office.
Thank you for that.
Now they're going to have babies. They're going to do all that stuff. I know. So, but she is amazing. So give her a hand. So guys, we have the next couple hours for you that we're really getting to the meat and potatoes. The next couple hours. The next person that's going to come up after a 10-minute break is going to be Dustin with Nova Home Loan. So take 10 minutes, go to the bathroom, make a phone call, but please be back in 10 minutes. If you don't having fun, don't come back. But I hope you come back. Thank you. 10 minutes. Don't raise your hand if you did listen to it. Okay, a few people. That's why we don't do it no more. We need to do podcasts or TV now. But anyways, he's a great guy. He's one of the top loan officers in the state. He couldn't do it, though, without his counterpart, John Fromey. You know, there's always a guy like me, and then there's Bart Sloan, who really takes care of the team. Dustin DeHart has a guy like him, John Fromey. These guys are a great duo. They're always there to help me in my business. They have great tools. We're going to bring them up, and then we're going to let them do their thing. Give them a warm round, guys.
All right, everybody's favorite part of the seminar, the lender speech, all right? Somebody's got to pay for this shit. Actually, Aaron didn't charge me. He's been sick for a couple weeks, so I'm sure I'm getting an invoice soon. Good morning, everybody. Pleasure to be here. I am Dustin DeHart, Nova Home Loans, Vice President, Branch Manager. I got in the mortgage industry in 2007. Since 2012, I've been ranked in the top 1% of the country. And one of the reasons why is because this guy over here, John Fromey, he's there. He does all the work. He is my right-hand man. Look, I see a lot of familiar faces, and those that know John know what he brings to the table. He's invaluable. He will help you guys grow your business.
By the way, thanks for helping out with the Christmas party. Yeah!
So we did want to thank everybody from EXP and allowing us to speak today, and more importantly, Aaron Taylor and Spencer Walton for inviting us. We do appreciate it, guys. So thanks for allowing us to be here.
Yeah, look, you know, we've been working with Aaron for quite a few years now, you know, becoming his preferred lender. And, you know, look, there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, we have to do our job, right? So the days of loan officers coming to you guys saying, hey, we close on time, we've got great rates, yada, yada, yada. That's not enough nowadays. That's your job. You're supposed to do that. You know, we do that. But we provide value back to Aaron. You know, we don't just wait for that referral, close it on time, and, you know, happy to get that next one. We help Aaron throughout the years grow his business, you know, through radio shows and a ton of different platforms. And we'll go over some of those today with you guys, okay?
And listen, there's a, you know, in regards to, and I don't know if I click through this. That's fine. What we can tell you about our team and why we're here, honestly. Go ahead, Dustin.
So, look, one of the reasons also why Aaron uses us is because our core values with him. You know, and our core values for our team are real simple. You know, provide the best combination of service, rate, and fees. Okay. I do a lot of business, so I have a low margin, which means I pass on a lower interest rate. We have one set $12.99 processing fee. On all VA loans, we don't charge any fees, okay? Again, that's not enough as well, but we also promote and, provide sustainable careers for our team members. Aaron just talked about most of his team's been with him for 10, 20 years. I mean, that's crazy, but there's not a lot of teams like that. That's just like us. John and me have been working together for 12 years now. My main loan officer's been with me for 10 years. Almost all my ops staff have been with me for 10 years as well. So, we're a big family. We've been doing this a long time. And, again, we want to enrich the lives of our employees. So, and giving back to the community, that's something that Aaron's very passionate about, and we are as well. Actually, just this week alone, we gave checks to the Boys and Girls Club, to 3 Square, to Folded Flag, which is Bill Foley's foundation, to help those that died in combat, helping their kids get scholarships. And in fact, with Folded Flag, what was it, $126,000?
$126,000.
Giving back. The more you give back, guys, the more you get back. Simple as that. So we're huge on giving back to the community.
And you messed up my slides, by the way. So because they're not working properly. So that's why I was confused, because you missed the whole slide.
All right, we'll roll with it. So at the end of the day, what do realtors want from their lenders, right? Show of hands, how many times have who in here has gotten a pre-approval letter from a lender, got people in the car for 12, weeks or whatever it is, and then come to find out they weren't really approved, right? Probably everybody, We get that, look, when we do a pre-approval letter, we're asking for everything. All the income, all the assets, we scrub it, we send it to a junior underwriter, so you guys can sleep like a baby. When we hand a pre-approval letter over, it's pre-approved. In fact, we can even offer core approval, or the core approval letters. Basically, we guarantee the earnest money if we screw up, and if we miss a close of escrow date, we'll pay the buyer and seller $250 a day up to 10 days. And I can tell you, we've never had to write a check for that. So.
It's a peace of mind double pledge. So when we get an application on someone, and then we get all the trailing docs, we pretty much stamp that peace of mind double pledge, where we guarantee that that deal is going to close. And if we are late, which honestly we're not, because we meet 98% of our files, we either meet or beat the close of escrow date. 98% of our files, that's tough to do. So, and it's because of team consistency in our back end.
So we just do things up front, do it right the first way. And again, John alluded to, 98% of our files close on time or early. We've been running that factor for almost 6 years now. So we close deals, we close them on time for you guys, okay? Products, we've got them all, down payment assistance, bank statement loan, whatever it is, doctor loans. We've got all the products out there. And again, combined with very competitive rates and fees. So, we have it all under one roof, basically. But at the end of the day, what we've found out is communication is kind of everything in our business, you guys. So I know, all of you have probably been left in the dark on certain deals with lenders, not knowing what's going on, We really thrive at that. And we've found out that's pretty much the most important thing that we need to offer to our real estate clients, So when we actually have a deal in processing, you'll get a video from us, basically outline everything that's going to happen. You'll get a loan status update every Tuesday. You're going to get a phone call every Tuesday, and our system even spits out every milestone that's hit, so you're never left in the dark. But look, at the end of the day, a lot of lenders do that. Most don't. But when you hand over a lead to us, that's kind of where John shines. I don't know if any lending team in the country does this, but John, talk about your landing page and what you created.
So this was created about 12 years ago, because when me and Dustin started doing business together, we had the 2 largest REO accounts in the state of Nevada, Brian Pelican and Jared Jones. So we were looking for an easy way for those deals to come in, or those clients from those teams. So I created basically a realtor-lender communication app. And honestly, this is where everything starts, and nobody else has done this, or I don't even know why, because it's not the most complicated thing. So I create a realtor communication app for every one of our realtor partners. I write the HTML code behind the scenes, so when one of our realtor partners fills this form out and hits send, it automatically goes to our entire team's email, gets loaded into our CRM system, and we guarantee that we're going to call the client within the hour. It's usually to 5 to 10 minutes, and there's quite a few agents in here that use this. And here's the main thing. It creates accountability. Is because how many times have you guys sent over a lead to a lender and they haven't even called you back that same day or within an hour? It happens a lot, right? Where you don't even know. You have to call them to find out what happened. So from beginning to end, when you submit that, we call the client within 5 to 10 minutes. You'll know whether we schedule an appointment for them to come in, a phone app, or I sent them a link to an online app. When the app comes in, you automatically get notified. When we request income docs, you automatically get notified. When the docs come in, you automatically get notified. On the lead portion or the referral portion, this is where most lenders fail. And honestly, because of that form, we never fail at them. We don't drop the ball with leads. And honestly, once we get an app on them, I'm not worried about Dustin, Ben, Nathan, and Jacob getting those clients approved, is because once the app's in and we get the docs, typically within 24 hours, you're going to know whether that client is approved or not, and for how much. And I'm not worried about closing on the back end, because once you guys get them in the contract, they take over everything, and then the communication starts from our LOS system, our loan origination system. So from beginning to end, guys, the first time you guys call someone with a cold call, Adriana probably sending five cold calls leads a day to us, and she's notified every time of the client that we spoke to. So on the back end, Dustin has it taken care of. On the front end, me, Nathan, and Jacob, we kill it. You guys will be notified from beginning to end.
Look, seamless, easy, goes on your phone, plug it in, boom, we're calling, and you get updated. Simple as that, okay? But look, there's some other things that we can offer you guys today as well to help you grow your business. You know, we stumbled upon HomeBot probably 2 or 3 years ago. Yep. It's one of the best platforms we've ever seen. The engagement's through the roof. It's a home valuation system your clients will get every single month. You know, like 95% open it, you know, 85% are engaging it all the time. We can set you guys up on that today. And look, you know, they can ask for a CMA, they can ask to look at other markets, they can play around and see how quick they can pay their house off. You know, but the bottom line is, look, it's somebody raising their hand. Maybe they're not doing something today, but they're saying, hey, I'm looking at this, and it's your way to go talk to them and keep engaged.
And there's quite a few different ways to use this system. And listen, I know Brett Jones left already, and I know he thinks that obviously his system is phenomenal because it's more detailed. This is a different tool. This is for a way for you guys to stay in front of your clients each and every month with no effort. You guys don't have to do anything, because once they're set up on HomeBot, these clients get what's called a preview digest once a month, and it's interactive. They actually participate because there's questions in there that they ask, and then you guys get notified. So Aaron's a big fan of acquiring people, right? This is a great tool to acquire people. Whether you're doing open houses, whether you're doing door knocking, I would get set up on it and create a QR code to have the client go directly to your link to sign up. It's a phenomenal tool. And like Dustin said, 2.5 years ago, we stumbled upon this. Our refi rate has skyrocketed is because I literally could see the activity up to the second that the client is previewing their property. So I could call them and say, hey, I see that you're inside HomeBot right now. Do you have questions about your value? If so, I'll get the realtor that actually did your purchase for you to reach out to you and do a more detailed CMA. It's a great tool, guys.
It is, and Aaron and Sam both use it and have done great with it. So another thing we can offer you guys today is a brand audit. This is something else we stumbled upon last year. The gentleman that runs this, Scott, used to work at Google. He knows all the analytics and all the algorithms on how to get your internet presence up and get it good, basically. You know, he did an audit for us, and it was pretty eye-opening, right, John?
Actually, I did the audit, and I was embarrassed, guys. It was kind of a joke where, you know, we had one office years ago in Henderson. We had different phone numbers. So the brand audit basically opened up our eyes is because our ranking was horrible. there was so many inconsistencies across our business, phone numbers, email addresses, locations, and Scott basically said, listen, here's your score, which is virtually 0, and then another lender in another county saying, this is what you should have done, and this guy has obviously been aware of a brand audit 4 or 5 years ago, or he wouldn't be where he is today. But that being said, as a business owner, every one of you guys are a business owner, you want to have a Google business page and get a brand audit, is because you'll know what how it looks across the internet. More importantly, Google specifically, Google reviews are the best, by far. Yelp, everything else, they're horrible. Google reviews, the reason why everybody uses Google, but there's so many little search engines that aggregate your basically Google business page that you never heard of. But Google has. So Google takes all those websites and ranks you. So we're actually giving away, this is a $250 value to get a 30-minute brand audit, and I'll show you guys how you could actually request this from us. But if you're truly in this business and you're worried about your business page or your identity on the internet, which you should be, you got to talk to Scott.
I mean, face it, everybody's using this now, right? Whether you get a referral or just a lead, what's the first thing they're going to do? Look you up, right? How many reviews do you have? What is your presence, right? And that's how everything works now. You go on Amazon, there's 4 widgets, all the same. Which one you picking? The one with the best reviews. It might even be a little more expensive. That's the one that you're going to pick.
Yeah,
so
and
whether
Scott,
or not
Banty is awesome. This guy knows.
He's very
everything
busy,
about
so he'll cut. You know, we'll set it up. He'll schedule a time, but it's $250, and we'll take care of that for you guys today. All right. So last but not least, we're all in the lead business, right? He who has the most leads wins, and we get that. So I was fortunate enough to join Rise, who, you know, about a year and a half ago. I'm one of the handful of lenders in the country that are in this platform. The guy that runs it is one of the most influential people in real estate. He used to run all of Fidelity, and you know, he got sick of the BS and red tape with, you know, corporate America, and he started this company up. And he has literally the best leads that you can get, unless you're going to pay a ton of money through Zillow, right? And we can offer these to you. I mean, it's literally a live transfer phone call of a human being that wants to talk to a real estate agent. It's as simple as that.
It's not for everybody.
It is not. And if you don't do it right, you will not get too many leads, because they starve the weak and feed the poor. I always screw that up. feed the strong and starve the weak, and that's how. But there's training and algorithms that you'll be a part of, along with, you know, some of the big, you know, guys like Aaron Taylor, some of the biggest agents in the country that do masterminds and explain, you know, how they do business. Aaron does them all the time. So, you know, if it will determine if we're a right fit for you with Aaron. We'll sit down with you guys and talk about it and see if we can get you some more leads.
And being part of Rise, it's just that there's so many new platforms. Listen, you blink a couple times, this market's changing, guys. Real estate is changing right now as we speak. Because of Rise and the individuals that are part of Rise, and I think we're one of 2 actually lenders in the whole state of Nevada that's part of this program. These guys offer us, because we are part of it, different platforms and new leads or opportunities that come in that we can pass along to our realtor partners that are fully vested in real estate and real estate industry.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, look, you know, we're going to do the job, we're going to do it right, we're going to communicate with you guys throughout the process, but we have a vested interest in helping you guys grow your business, and there's not a lot of lenders that can offer that, and we'd be happy to do it. I think there's a QR code. Does anybody have it?
So there's a QR code there. If you guys want to scan that over, if you guys want to book an appointment to meet with us, just scan that. It will open up to a realtor request appointment page, and we would be happy to meet with you. We'll bring Aaron along also if that's what you guys are looking for, which I would highly recommend, is because, listen, there's a reason why Aaron and Spencer requested us to come and speak. We're very good at what we do, but more importantly, there's so much stuff that we have taken from Aaron and put into our business that we're fully vested in Aaron. The way they do business is the right way to do business. And his clients, and I'm telling you, they've been friends 10, 15, 20 years, and he gets so many referrals because he acquired names. Am I correct, Aaron?
Nope.
Over the years. So anybody in the business, start acquiring names. HomeBot is a great tool to acquire people. So you should put every client, every family member into that system, is because you stay in front of them every month with you doing nothing. So, any questions?
Perfect. Appreciate the time, guys.
Making Nova Home Loans. Dustin DeHart with Nova Home Loans. You guys ever heard of that? So, the point I was trying to make is, do you know what percentage of homes sell in the MLS versus every other place you put it on? Anybody have an idea? Out of 100%, what homes sell because you put it in the MLS? It's like 98. 98%. Then you get less than 1% that sell by open houses, less than 1% by sell. So why do we do the other stuff? Perception. People want to hire you because of what you do, because of your listing presentation. If you guys don't have a listing presentation, please come to 8400 West Sahara. We will show you our listing presentation. The listing presentation is put together, and the way we do it is not just to list their house. I know I'm going to list their house. It's to get them to refer me for future business. It's for them to show that we're professional. Even if they're my friend, when I get to their house, man, it's game time. Listing presentation, I'm professional. I don't break my script, because that's what they're hiring me for, is because I'm a professional in what I do. That HomeBot is just good for when you acquire people, throw them in HomeBot. If you don't use KV Core, you throw them in KV Core too. But what it does, it sends out values of their house every so often. Are they right? Do you think the values are right?
No.
No. Is Zillow values right?
No.
They're not right, it's just it's engagement. So when you see them engage, they'll ask you, Aaron, my house isn't worth this. Then I get to engage. Aaron, well, my house is worth this, I want to sell it. No, it's not, but let's engage. I get to communicate. It's another form of communication, right? There's still some things we have to show you to get you to communicate, but we're going to get there too. So Chris Sullivan, a real estate attorney, I got a text and a call that, guess what? And why? COVID! He gets there and I'm not feeling well, blah, blah, blah. I said, stay home. We've been through there, been there and done that, right? So the next person I'm going to bring up, so this lady's a firecracker. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She was in the wedding business, had no real estate experience, only been in the business a few years. What does that say on the top right-hand corner?
You're taking my speech.
My God, yes. But I love her. She listens to what I say. She's a goofball. Let's bring in Erin. She's going to talk about it. Come on.
Erin, you talk about me. Let's just be clear that I'm the prettier Erin. Can we all be clear about that? Erin Taylor who? Erin Pearson Mills. And yes, I am going to shout this from the rooftop. I made icon. I made icon in 10 months. Who knows what icon means? Icon means I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Are you awesome? Are you awesome? You guys wake up every single day and look in the mirror and know you're awesome? You need that. We're here to get that to you guys. Okay, icon's pretty cool, and I like to start with saying, why listen to this girl? Why listen to this girl? Why listen to the prettier Erin? Well, I mean, that's obvious. Because Erin Taylor, I'll give you my background story, but Erin Taylor took me from nothing, from absolutely nothing. At 40 years old, I decided to leave my giant wedding venue that my family does own, and we still own, and I decided to get into real estate. And I was with a really, really bad brokerage for a year. Who's been with a bad brokerage? Who has been, I'm not going to help you because you're the competition. Yeah, that was me for a whole year, but I'm a Girl Scout, and so I told my husband I'm going to give it a Girl Scout year. I'm training my staff at my wedding venue, and I learned nothing. Nothing. Sit in the office for 8 hours a day, Erin. You'll absorb it. You'll learn it. He'll help you. He'll help you. Hell no. You either love to hate me or hate to love me. And I was their competition. But when I gave it that whole year, and it was on January 1st, I said, all right, babe, time's up. Time's up. I got to find something else. I gave it the year, and I got nothing. And so, thank you, Janessa. You are so good with your advertising and your marketing that I was scrolling on Facebook, and boom, let's do a lunch and learn with Erin Taylor. Who the hell is Erin Taylor? Love you. I don't listen to the radio. So I actually had to Google it, and I was like, this guy sells about, 400 homes a year. I'd be kind of stupid not to go and listen to this guy. I always want to be the stupidest person in the room. I always want to be the poorest person in the room. I want to elevate myself. I want to sit around people that are better than I am and get that knowledge. So as much as I'm gonna tell you I'm awesome, I'm always here to learn, okay? So when I walked into that room, I forget which country club it was at, Aaron Taylor.
Dragon Ridge.
Was it Dragon Ridge? And I sat in the parking lot and I was so nervous, and I walked in and Janessa's like, oh, come in girl, come in girl. And I walked into this room and I saw a sign that was like, make real estate fun again. I was like, yeah, because that last year sucked. They were so mean to me. The hell, it wasn't fun. And I think that's the biggest thing is I walked into that room and I sat at a table and I had some great reps. There were some title reps. There was just a bunch of like random people. I didn't know anything and they made me feel awesome, okay? Then Aaron Taylor and Ruth Albrand, they stood up. Now I was 41. 41, I'm dying on the vine, okay? I need an exit strategy. I need to make sure that I'm getting like, I need to be able to retire at a certain point. I'm exhausted. I had to sell weddings to brides for 21 goddamn years. So anyway, which is a whole other story. It's a really good story. So he stood up there and he was so exciting, and I actually think one of the photos was Bobby Martin, kind of told like Bobby Martin's story, who I love you Bobby. He'll be speaking after me, I'm sorry. But they started talking about just the community and just we're all here to help you and we want to make you better than me. And I was like, okay, hook, line, and sinker. It was kind of the stock options because again, 44 years old, I need to be able to retire soon. So with the icon status and all of that, and the stock options is what got me, but somebody asked the question, I hate the question, what's your why? Who loves that question? Freaking hate that question. Money? What do you mean what's my why? Forget the kid, money? Money wastes, but you do elevate yourself once you do have all the stocks. I've got $200,000 worth of stocks. I'm no Sam Coleman. Sam Coleman taught me how to put on horse blinders because I wanted to be Sam Coleman, but I'm never gonna be 7-foot-tall basketball player baller, okay? But I admire Sam, and Sam is at the top of my heap. I'm looking at you, Sam, every day on social media. Okay, I call myself the social media queen. Sam does all right, he does all right, right? But I am the social media queen. We'll kind of get to that later. So the first thing I want you guys to do is pull out your phones. My girls have my phones, but you guys pull out your phones. Get on Instagram, okay? I'm gonna teach you guys how to grow yourself, and we're gonna grow together, okay? Get on Instagram. What's my name? It's not Aaron Mills. Aaron Pearson Mills. Thank goodness I kept my maiden name, because you know how many Aaron Millses are in the world? Like 387. So thank goodness I've got my branding, okay? So I want you guys to follow me, okay? And what my girls are gonna do is we're gonna follow you back because that's how you're gonna grow organically, okay? It is all about the leads, it is all about money. That is your initial why, okay? Because money makes the world go around, all right? Social media is free, people. Do you guys understand that? I know there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of buying leads, there's a lot of open houses, there's a lot of gathering your community, but guess what? Schools are closed for 5 more days. What's everybody gonna be doing? I'm gonna go in the pantry, I'm a mom, I'm gonna look on Instagram, I'm gonna freaking TikTok, you know, I'm gonna escape. What happened during COVID? I grew exponentially in the 2 weeks of quarantine. Then we were essential, okay? But that 2 weeks, all I did was make my connections. Because I can go to as many Starbuckses and as many, you know, places and mixers and make my connections, but here's where it is. Here's where the world is going, okay? So, where was I going? Why am I saying, Melissa?
You're talking about how
I was talking about why, what's your why, okay? So it was my goal last year, I worked myself to death. Why you should listen to me, when I walked into Aaron Taylor, I knew nothing about real estate, nothing. I was kind of sick of selling weddings. And we are salespeople, okay? I have a beautiful wedding venue, but it was built in 1962. They weren't buying the wedding venue, they were buying me. They wanted to shop with me, they wanted to plan with me. You need to make the people fall in love with you, which again goes back to social media. Turn the camera around and talk to your people. I don't care what you look like, I don't care what you sound like, that's what you look like and that's what you sound like. Get over it, all right? So I worked myself to death. My very first year, 2019, and I say I've only been doing real estate for 3 years because I was born with Aaron Taylor. First year doesn't really count, but I added on, you know, for all those clients. How many years? I'm 40, I've been doing this forever. All right, so my first year I did 6, okay? And I kind of half-assed it because I was still doing the weddings. I did 6, I thought that was pretty cool, okay? My second year, COVID. Through COVID, I did 14. Not bad, because nobody knew what the hell was going on, okay? Last year, I did 36. 36. Again, I'm no Aaron Taylor, I'm no Sam Coleman, but I think that's pretty damn good for 3 years because I put my nose to the bone. Everybody has a different situation. Okay, everybody, you might have little kids, you might have no kids, you might be going through divorce. Everybody has a different situation. I had a pretty good situation. I've got a 21-year-old out of the house, I've got a 13-year-old boy. He's great, everybody's fine. And me and my husband, we've built about 8 businesses over our lifetime. Really, really great businesses, okay? And so I really know what it does take to get the job done. So literally, if you know me or don't know me, how many hours am I thinking about real estate? Ferris?
All day, every day.
It's a bad, bad trait. It's a bad trait. So I told my family, I'm gonna take 2 years because I know building 8 businesses, it takes 2 years to see a really good return. Build a really good base, okay? So don't feel bad if you feel like you're struggling. Tried and true, it takes 2 years to see a return. So in my 3rd year, I told my husband, nobody talk to me, I might be working 14 hours a day, I don't care, order takeout, hire a maid, it doesn't matter, okay? My goal was to put 2 years worth of savings in my bank account, okay? And that was done, okay? I've got over $200,000 worth of stock. So now, I love me some Ryan Serhant. Who knows Ryan Serhant? I personally have an emotional support fish. His name is Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing. He said, you need to wake up scared every day. No matter how much money you have, get up scared. Get up like you're gonna lose your house. If you're gonna lose your house in 30 days, do you think you could list 4 homes this month? Think you could do it? Wake up with that. Write it on your mirror. Wake up scared and get out there and do it. And I don't listen to the radio, I don't watch television. I am always on social media because you're gonna make all your money from Facebook and you're gonna sell your houses and Agent Attract from Instagram, all right? So your Facebook is your personal surroundings, your SOI, okay? People have got to fall in love and love you. Who random knows the names of my dogs? Well, you will. Bosco and Bub, the 2 puppy horses. Okay? I meet people in Albertsons or just random Starbucks and they're like, hey, you're the redhead realtor. Yes, I am. I'm the prettier Erin. Yes, I am. I fought Erin Taylor so hard on the branding, okay? And we had this conversation at EXP Con. No, my brand is Erin Pearson Mills. Nobody's looking up or Googling Erin Pearson Mills. Nobody. And so when I came from the wedding venue, I was hashtag the I Do Diva, okay? I have been on Facebook for 17 years. I opened Facebook. My wedding venue was on Facebook, so I am good, okay? If you have any social media questions, I am good. I have a personal social media coach because I'm not the smartest person in the room. I never will be, okay? What did you say, Sam? You always have to be learning, educating? Yeah, I put you on the spot.
Always be a lifelong student.
Lifelong student, okay? Never let that go. Wake up scared, be a lifelong student, okay? Where was I going? I look at Sam and I just lose everything because I'm like, Sam Coleman. Branding, thank you. You win. Give her a gift card. Give her the DVD. So, my first initial wedding, I was hashtag the I Do Diva, okay? It was cute, it was funny, you know, I'm kind of a diva, and we did a little mastermind up in the office, and I was like, I think Bart said it. I was like, well, I've always been the I Do Diva. It's cute. I do. I'm a diva, like I do. And Bart goes, no man likes the word diva. Whoa, okay, I get that. You know what? Because it's about you guys, and it was about the brides, and it is about your clients, okay? So we did tweak this a little bit, and I got on the hashtags, and I searched, and really, it's just about the red hair. I grew up sincerely hideous, you guys, sincerely ugly. I mean, we're talking like 80s, 90s. There wasn't hair straighteners. So I have this big, gigantic, poofy, freaking red hair and no eyebrows. Nope, I look like a cone head, okay? The eyebrows weren't a thing back then. So I was so tragically hideous. I had a beautiful sister that I had to make something of myself. And so it has been my personality, okay? I make my personality out there and shine, and I was always the redhead kid. Oh, there's the beautiful red hair, not the face, it's kind of a butter face. But tried and true through and through with all my schooling, I made something of myself. I had to be a cheerleader. I had to be on the board of education. I had to be in front of everybody. I was always going and going because otherwise I'd just be the ugly kid with red hair, okay? So the branding, we really nailed it down, and the redhead realtor, it's all over. It's, you know, I can't trademark that. So I just slapped a little LV. And literally I put it on everything. I put it on all my branding, all my business cards, I put it on my social media, hashtag, filled it up. Now everybody knows me as the redhead realtor. I mean, that's awesome. So what you guys need to be like is you're the realtor who blank. The realtor who blank. Find yourself, okay? If you love cooking, if you love your dogs, whatever you're gonna be, you're the realtor who, because people need to like look at you and be like, you're the realtor with the good earrings all the time. Yeah, you. All right, so I do have some bullet points and I kind of left them over here, okay? Because I am here to talk about Aaron Taylor. Let's all, he pays me a lot of money to, do this stuff. So I'm a big talker. I'm going to get my bullet points. I'm a really big talker, and Aaron Taylor tells me all the time, shut up! Freaking listen, you don't know everything in the room. Stop yourself. So I did. I sat there, and me and Sam, we actually joined at the same time. It's got a couple years ahead of me, so. But I did sit there and listen, and everything that Aaron Taylor said, I did. But what he taught me is you have to memorize, internalize, and then personalize. Write that down. You memorize your shit, okay? Memorize that. Internalize it, and once you do that, you can personalize it. So when he gives you his scripts, do it that way. Do it that way until you can breathe it that way. Then you can put your own quirks on it, okay? So every single Tuesday, I did this for how many years? 3 years. I barely missed a Tuesday. And I've heard his same speeches every single Tuesday. It's on a rotation, but it's the nuts and bolts of what you guys need to do to become awesome, an icon, okay? So I jokingly tell my team, it's like real estate church, okay? You guys go to church on Sunday? You get all good, you get all motivated, and you're dragging by Saturday night, okay? This is real estate church. You guys realize that you guys have to hear something 7 times to be able to actually remember it. 7 times, okay? So when I go and I listen to Aaron Taylor, and it reminds me, and I memorize, internalize, then I personalize. So I've tweaked his listing presentation to fit my personality. All that thing, okay? Oh, the biggest thing Aaron Taylor does, and I'm pretty good, consistency, okay? When you talk about social media, when you talk about going to the gym, right? When you talk about your eating habits, it's consistency. What is it when you're an alcoholic and you go in 28 days? 28 days, give yourself 28 days to do the same thing every single time. Consistency. Aaron is constantly calling his sphere, writing the notes, doing all the things that you don't want to do. And Aaron was getting to the point, get up and, I say eat your frog. Get up and do that nasty, annoying thing first thing in the morning. You have a Mr. Lita call? Do it first thing, otherwise you can't function all day long, okay? So get out there and be consistent. If you see me on social media, which I hope you guys do, and love you guys, but if you follow me on Facebook, I will not follow you back. You can definitely watch me, but Facebook is clean of real estate agents, title companies, all that. You realize if you're engaging with all your friends here, that's all you're gonna see, and you guys aren't gonna give me business, are you? Okay? You guys belong on Instagram, so think about that. Clean out your Facebook, take all your title reps, all your realtor friends, everybody off of that Facebook, and stop engaging. And apologize to them. Hey man, I'll see you on Instagram. I'll see you at the coffee shop. All right? So being consistent is what I'm very good at. The most successful people, they wake up at 4 a.m. Melissa, what time do I wake up every day? Did we wake up at 4 a.m.? Were you mad? Yes. Okay? I go to bed at 9, I wake up at 4. You realize those quiet hours are for you, not the dogs, not the kids, not the husband. They're for you. I get so much work done, and I have people comment all the time, Aaron, I can't believe, you emailed me at 4 a.m. I'm like, yeah, I'm up, I'm getting the job done, you can rely on me, okay? Now, people know, and everybody knows, if you're texting me or calling me about after 7 o'clock, I'm not gonna answer. That's my me time, that's my Sam Coleman time. You're gonna take the time for the family. All right, so another thing that was ingrained in me is the sense of community. Our team gives back like gangbusters, and there is an old proverb, the more you give, the more you get back, okay? Keep that in mind. We are community over competition. You guys can reach out to me or anybody else, no matter if you're upline, sideline, downline, we're all here for you guys, okay? And I think I'll end it on that because Ferris is going, you're talking too much, Aaron, you're talking too much. Okay, I want you guys to realize you guys can be an icon, you can be awesome because we're here to help you, all right? Give yourself a round of applause.
All right, guys, hey. How's everybody doing? Let me see these faces. Let me look at y'all. Gosh, you're beautiful. Not you, Aaron. Everybody else, let me see. Who do I know here? Raise your hands if I met you personally. All right, if I haven't. Wow, about half, huh? All right, 8 out of 10, what does that mean? 8 out of 10. It's not how hot my girlfriend is, she's a 10. 8 out of 10, guys, is how many agents. Whoa, we're not supposed to do that, huh? How many agents will be in the business pretty much have fall out year after year? So out of 10 agents that get in the business, 8 of them aren't going to be in the business. Why do you think that is? It's hard? Okay. Why? Give me some other reasons. Come on. It's a business. You got to treat your business like a business, right? Consistency. What else? It's expensive. You got to have money, right? Takes money to be in business. What? I like that answer.
They're not putting in the work.
Commitment. Decisions. Give me another one.
You're accountable only to yourself.
Accountability. Comes down to dollars.
Lazy.
It's not always about dollars, though. I know rich people that don't make it in this business.
They think they can do it part-time.
Part-time, and maybe that's your goal, and that's okay. What else?
I think it's a different discipline from like normal jobs, and even if you ran your own business, it's different. And I think it takes a while to figure that out. And I think it takes, discipline to hang in there and to figure it out and find people who are good enough that have the right answers to put you on the right path and keep you there.
I like that. I think it's a decision. I think you have to decide, number one. And then I believe you have to believe in yourself. You agree with that? If you guys do those two things. 1995, I'm sitting in who has heard this story? I don't know if you have or not. I'm sitting in my accounting class in the University of Utah, or Utah Valley University, and I'm sitting there, and I was so bored. I was getting a C, I think. And why was I getting a C? Probably because I didn't enjoy it. I'd just gotten out of Real Estate Principles 1, Real Estate Principles 2, and I had A's in that class. But I had C's in business management, I had C's in economics. I didn't like it. So during that class, I remember sitting there listening to the teacher. And at that moment, I made a decision. That decision was to go into real estate. The best decision I've ever made, guys. But I was too stupid to know I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I was 23 years old. But I believed in myself. Everything up to that point in my life, I pretty much was able to accomplish. I didn't fail too much. Everyone has failures. But I was always, succeeded. I graduated from high school. I did good at sports. I was able to make it to college. I went on a 2-year mission to Argentina. I learned Spanish, right? So I had obstacles to overcome. And after that decision, I stood up, I walked out of my economics class, and I passed my real estate test 2 months later. I was 23 years old. From that point, 27 years later, I don't regret the decision I made because I was committed. Who said committed? Right here. Once you guys commit, you make that decision, you believe in yourself, and do it. Be a doer. When Aaron Taylor, when I first opened up that first branch of 040, it was actually called Coast to Coast Real Estate. Used to move people for free all over the country. Before I left, he goes, Spencer, he goes, if I could tell you to do one thing, be a doer. It doesn't matter if it's right, guys. It's not always the right way to go about things, but be a doer. Just get up in the morning. Always be doing something. My business partner on our door had just a blank piece of paper that was printed and typed. Always be doing something. Okay? Part of that is plugging in. What does plugging in mean for you? Someone said, why wake up at 4 a.m.? Right? Erin's plugging in at 4 a.m. What is she doing? Right? What does it mean to plug in? Next slide. First of all, you got to realize that you're not alone. You can't do this business alone. Everybody needs help. Aaron? Did you do this alone?
No.
Did you have help along the way?
Everybody does everything for me and they love it.
My point being is that everybody needs help in this business. Whether you're part-time, whether you're full-time, there's a transition there, there's goal setting, the whole bit, right? First of all, you gotta realize that you're not alone. You have help. You have a team behind you, a team within a team. Beyond any structure that you guys go out in your individual businesses and team building and all that, your downlines, beyond that, you have a team that is there for you, that cares, that gives a shit. Promise. Next slide, please. Next one. This is your state broker team right here. I know each and every individual here, and I can promise you they care. Most of these people have been with us since the beginning that I joined. 3 years ago, 159 agents in Las Vegas. I remember 048, I think we had 119. And we're competing against you guys, right? What did you guys have to offer that we didn't? Even 3 years ago, we have a lot more to offer now than we did then. I think when I first started 3 years ago, there was one person on that board, and that was me. Paul was a member. He was just had joined right before me. But there was one person for those 159. And that covered the whole state. We had 3 branch offices, now we have 14. We have 1,120 agents throughout the state. Last year, transaction volume in 2021, what's your guess on transaction side? Who's number 1 in the city? Transaction side. Sell side. Agent count. Come on, say it!
Aaron Taylor!
No! Oh. Hell no! It was EXP Realty, you guys. Number 1 brokerage office in Las Vegas. Number 1. Above Realty Executive, above Realty all of them. We are number 1. Okay? Transaction volumes, number 6 listing side, and that does not count our branch offices, meaning the Sahara office, which is a big listing side, right? We're number 6 overall in that River Peak office. Okay? But we add those together and I think we're on our way. So, this is your state team. You got Jen McDonald, who is our northern broker, who's been there a year. Awesome. Guys, have you guys communicated with her? Anybody? Incredible resource and knowledge there. And my buddy Paul May. Paul, come on up. Hey, Gary. Guys, it gets busy. I promise you.
He looks like his avatar, just like
Yeah, Paul has been with us as our managing broker for Vegas about 6 months now.
6 months? And I'm loving it. Great to see you guys.
So the reason I bring Paul up is because there is a lot of influx. You guys have a lot of questions, right? Paul has taken that weight and distributed it. Not only has he done that, he's been able to offer things that I couldn't as a broker, right? We all have our talents. I'm not the social media dude. You know what I mean? I'm more of a analytical accountant, like compliance, like, I don't know, I just like to study stuff.
And that's why we work so well together, Spencer. I cannot stand ethics, rules. This guy knows it back and forth. I just want to connect with agents and help them grow and do social media and lead generation and tactics. This guy's got your back when it comes to knowing the ins and outs of how to protect you. So let's hear it for Spencer.
While Paul has the mic, I just wanted to, let's flip this slide one more time, and then we'll go back. Guys, right there on that one, the one you just had. One more? Right there. Okay. Guys, there's a lot of ways to plug in. That means you wake up in the morning, you gotta be involved, right? The agents that kind of dwindle off, they forget to stay connected. You have to plug into your state broker team, your mentors, your mentee, your team leaders, right? Paul, tell us a little bit about our weekly trainings. How about
Absolutely.
your social media class?
Yeah, you know, when I became an agent with EXP, I met Spencer, we had a drink, and I said, you know what, man, I want to help in any way I can. I'm excited to be part of EXP. I'm willing to do some social media and lead gen training. This was before I was a broker. He's like, yeah, do it. So I started doing that, and then they needed a broker replacement up in the north, and so I became an interim broker for the northern Nevada area, and then Spencer asked if I would join as one of the managing brokers to help, as we are now 1,100 agents strong in Nevada. Isn't that fantastic?
That's nothing that we're doing. This is an agent-driven brokerage. So great job building your downline.
Absolutely. You guys are the attractors as we grow. Just make sure to come and plug in, like Spencer was saying. You know what one of the coolest things to do is? Get on a Zoom with another agent and walk them into your online virtual office where your brokers are available to you between 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the online virtual portal every single Monday through Friday, except for lunch from 12 to 1, and bring them into a Zoom and share your screen and say, this is how we get assistance. When I was a broker at Keller Williams, I was not as accessible as I am now, and as Spencer is, and as Jen is, all of our payment processing, our ASC Cura, we're all accessible in the online virtual world. You can come and connect with us in your pajamas, all right? You don't have to get in the car and drive over. We are available to help you not only with your contracts, any questions you have. We're here to help support you in growing your business. So, some of the things that we do on a weekly basis, on Tuesdays from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, how many people have joined me in my social media lead gen class?
Raise your hands. Who's been to that class?
Fantastic.
Guys, it's about your KV core.
I love it.
Your database.
And what's the thing about a database? What's the best database out there, you guys?
The one you use.
The one you use. So, if you don't have 200, 100, I think Aaron was saying 157 of A clients. If you don't have your 157 A clients in your KV Core database, do it. Every day, have a conversation with 5 people that know you, like you, trust you, and have a conversation with 5 people you don't know and put them into your KV Core database and send out a HomeBot report. I'm a big, huge proponent of HomeBot. I use the DeHart team with my HomeBot reports. Engage every single day. 5 people you know, 5 people you don't know, add them to your database and your business will grow. And that's what we talk about in the social media lead gen class. Right after that, plug in your broker state meeting. Plug in, because we have Aaron Taylor speak every now and then. Who do we have this past?
I'm going to go through that.
We had Fromy and all those guys on Tuesday.
Let me talk about that actually.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Sorry. So let's go back because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Go ahead. No, just go back to our agent team right there. Okay, go back to our team. Right here. Okay. So we have Paul. Paul, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be back with you in a minute. Give Paul a hand. All right. Guys, Brooke Christensen and Alex Bacon, those are your compliance specialists. Those are the guys, those girls are reviewing all your contracts. If you guys have questions about your contracts, your SkySlow files, all that kind of stuff, chat them. They're there for you. Payment processing, Ashley De La Riva. And then our Angelina Kent is our expert care. Next slide. Let's go 2 more. All right. National training. Guys, we have over 50 hours a week of training in the world. Let's see some of those. This is just yesterday's schedule. Has anybody gone to this? Raise your hand if you go to the cloud. Okay. We're a cloud-based brokerage, by the way. Did anybody know that? Okay. So if you guys are wondering where our meetings are, where I'm saying to plug in, everybody say it at the same time. Where do we plug in? The world, right? We plug into the world. The Nevada State Room. Who's been there? Who has not been there? Who has not been there? Okay, if you have not been into the world, download it. Number 1, that's a good start, right? That's like building your brick and mortar office. So go into the world, click on broker staterooms, click on the state of Nevada. You're going to go into the Nevada State Room. All 3 brokers are there. Payment processing's there. Compliance is there. You have a question about a contract. Maybe you got to write a land contract. You don't know much about land. A lot of details with land, guys. Access, utilities, zoning, all that good stuff. The purchase agreement needs to reflect that. Look at all these trainings we got here. What do we got here? Excel series, roles and responsibilities. How to get the most of your admin. As you guys build your teams, you're going to have admin. You guys should be paying, you know, if you're doing something that is a $10 an hour job, you probably shouldn't be doing it if you think you're worth $100 an hour. Icon series. We just heard from an icon. Give her another hand, by the way. Our icon. Advantages of learning with the CE shop. Excel series, icon. Introduction to industrial real estate. Maybe you want to know commercial. There's commercial certifications. REO, Relo, okay? What else looks like? Team building with KV Core. A few other icons. Let's keep going. Anyways, you get the gist of it. Guys, this is our Nevada-specific trainings. Every single week in the world. Social media training, we talked about lead gen. Guys, if you guys need homes to market, maybe you don't have a listing. Each listing procures 2 buyers minimum if you do it right. We have homes, vacant homes that you guys can do open houses on. Other agents have listings that they're willing to share that you can market on your social media. Our state meetings is Tuesdays at 10 a.m. We had John Fromian yesterday. Who was at our state meeting yesterday? We had 57 people there. Okay, we went over lending 101. We went over the difference between FHA, VA, conventional. Go ahead.
Are any of these recorded that we can see later on that day?
Answer the question for them? Yes. Where are they recorded at?
Nevada South Bend.
Workplace. Reposted. They're also on the Nevada website. You know we have a Nevada website?
Yes.
Yes, it's all there. Contract training every Wednesdays. Guys, I get so many questions that if you just read the contract, the answer's there. It's amazing what happens. The appraisal didn't come in, what do I do? Read section 2C. There's 3 things that can happen with an appraisal, right? If the appraisal doesn't come in, seller can lower the price, buyer can, or the deal can fall apart. Or it appraises. Right? Which what we want.
Can't we just meet the appraiser and bribe him? Oh, we can't do, I'm sorry.
Just kidding, Spencer. All right. So, Explode series. Who's been to this? Who's closed less than 100 deals in here? Who's closed more than 100 deals? So everyone else has closed less than 100 deals, right? Okay. My thoughts are, if you haven't closed 100 deals, you still don't know what you're doing. Who agrees with that? And that's not an insult, that's not a shaft or anything. That's just saying that maybe you haven't ran into this certain circumstance. Because as you continue to do deals, you run into different situations, right? So, Explode series. Let's see what some of the topics are. Let's go. All right, that's fine. Keep going. It's an 8-week Explode series. This is just a little taste of it. We talk about buyer strategies. How do you set up a buyer? What do you do when you meet with the buyer? Do you create expectations? You've got to sit down and have that buyer presentation. So many broker phone calls I get is because the agent didn't educate the buyer through the process. The flow of the transaction is what I like to call it.
I want you to take pictures of this stuff when I get it up here. Guys, I have things in place on my team that are required. We have an A team and a B team. You could come in, everybody that comes in comes on the B side, because you got to prove yourself to get to the A team. The A agents make money, every single one of them. They get to answer our phone. You think you're going to answer my phone just by joining the team? No. I spend $100,000 a month in advertising. $100,000. That means every time that phone rings, it's $100-something. If you don't know what you're saying, you're not answering my phone. I like Spencer when he says plugged in. You got to be plugged into the real estate guy, what we do. You have to prove yourself. Before you answer a phone, before you get in our CRM system and start taking leads and responding to people, I got to make sure you respond to them correctly, that that you know what you should do, right? I like to use scripts as like prayers. When we were little, everybody learned the Our Father, the Hail Mary, if you're Catholic or Christian. Who knows the Our Father in here? Raise your hand. You probably know it by heart, right? Or some prayer of some sort. When you're young, you learn the Our Father because we're teaching you how to pray to God. We're teaching you how to worship. When you get older, you don't need a... I remember before we ate a meal, when I was little, we always said, "Blessed is our Lord, for these are gifts which you're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ." You guys know that one? Everybody kind of knows that one, right? But we didn't know any better, so we had to learn the script. Well, then as I got older, now I can sit around the group with my family and kids, and everybody can hold hands, and I can say, "Thank you, Lord, for this wonderful meal that my wife prepared. Thank you for my kids." We learned, right, how to do it ourselves. If you don't know scripts, if you're that thick-headed that you don't want to learn scripts, then keep doing the wrong thing. But you got to learn these scripts, and I put them together in 27 years to get you guys to do the right thing. Number one, 15 seconds of fame. I put this together because 99.9% of agents don't do it. So when we answer the phone, we want to be different. You have a short time when someone calls you to ask you about buying a house or selling a house, a very short time to get them to convert to you, right? If someone calls you up and says, "Hey, I'm in front of this house, I see it listed, I don't know whose it is, can you tell me how much it is?" Agents are terrified. First of all, they don't even answer their phone. I'm not talking about you guys, you always answer your phone. First of all, they don't answer their phone. The reason that they don't answer their phone is because they're scared shitless and they don't know what to say. So let me not answer it. Hopefully they'll leave a message and they don't know what they say, so I can call them back. Am I right or wrong? We've all been there, guys. Most of us been there. I'm human like you guys are. I have the same fears, everything. But I had to teach myself and train myself. So we put things in place. The 15 seconds of fame is during the step of our 5 steps to answering the phone, which I'm going to give you, is the third step, which they have to say. My agents that work for me, everyone know it. Natasha, you know it, right? By heart, right? Stand up and say it and turn around. Stand up and just say it loud. You come here. Come here. I can pull any one of the agents that are in the A team. I'm just going to use Natasha. Don't look at it. You're going to say it the way... Come over here.
This one's a little bit different, but I'll say it.
Well, just say it the way you say it. Go ahead.
By the way, did you know there are 17,000 real estate agents in Las Vegas, and Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy, and our team have been ranked in the top 10 every single year. We've sold over 6,000 homes and have the #1 brand, the real estate guy in Nevada. I'm so excited to help you. Let's get started.
I just called her up to prove a point, but there's several more just like her that can say it. Guys, that's so important to be able to brag about yourself to somebody. They want to know that the person that's going to help them in buying or selling a house has some credentials, right? That you have some experience, that they have people behind me. So write this down. I need to write my 15 seconds of fame, everybody. You can utilize the EXP, you can utilize the broker, you can utilize whatever you need to. If you've only been in the business a year and you bought and sold homes for 10 years, use that. Brag about yourself. Mayor campaign. I'm going to go to this one first, and then I'm going to go back. Hotline script. When you call us and you're a client, my agents that answer the phone better do this or pretty damn close to it. Because if they don't answer the phone. Number 1, answer the phone happy. "Hi, this is Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy." The real estate guy. How can I help you? You got to be happy. No one wants to talk to somebody on the other side of the phone that's not happy, do you? If you're happy on the other side of the phone and you want to sell me something, I'm probably going to buy it just because you're happy. You got to be happy. This is stuff that you just should do. Number 2, the excuse. I'm either driving or I need to get to the computer when someone calls you and asks you a question. Why do we have an excuse? Because we got to get the number 3. The excuse is to buy me time. Everybody will let you pull over in a car, right? If you say, "Hey, I'm driving, let me pull over, I'll get you that," will they say, "Okay"? No one's going to go, "Oh, really? You can't just drive and tell me this?" The other one is, "Hey, I'm at the office, let me just get to the computer, I'm going to pull it up right now." By the way, as I'm pulling it up, did you know that there are 17,000 agents in Nevada, Aaron Taylor, and do your thing? That's the time to do number 3, which is your 15 seconds of fame. If you do it in this order, they will let you get out your 15 seconds of fame. When I give mine, it's close to this, but a little different, because at the end, When I say let's get started, I like to laugh and go, you made the right phone call, didn't you? And they always say, oh my God, I did. Is this the real estate guy? Well, yeah. Let's go. Come on, let's go. The next one is the dance. You have to know these things by heart. Not just for the phone call, but you have to know them by heart just because it's your business. Don't you think these are all important questions that you have to know? If you guys, if you know this stuff by heart, your confidence level is going to go from here to here. It just will. It's so important. And I'm not going to go over the dance questions, but you can take a picture of it, write it down, whatever you want. But the dance is so important. All those steps are just there to make the appointment. I'm not trying to sell them a house on the phone. I'm not trying to close the deal. All I'm doing is trying to make the appointment. The appointment could be at a house. The appointment could be at my office. I don't care where the appointment is, but I need them in front of me and in person. Why? Because if I get them in front of me, they're going to work with us. Because they're going to see our culture. They're going to know we care about them. And I'm going to go over the process of how to buy a house or how to sell a house, right? You got to get them in front of you. This is gold, guys. If you don't take a picture of this stuff, if you don't memorize this stuff, I'm just letting you know. 27 years I've done this business, and I made every mistake in the book. I screwed everything up. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the wrong thing. More than 50% of my business comes from this stuff, which Bobby's going to come up and show you. The radio, the TV, the other stuff, that's ego. That was just when I first started doing it, that was just to solidify to my database that I was the guy. That's always when I did it. Now it, brings some business in. But that's what it was for. The mayor campaign. This is gold. When you come to 8400 West Sahara on Tuesdays, we'll teach you this. Every single one of my agents know the mayor campaign. If you were to buy or sell a house around a friend or family member that was, am I the agent you would use to refer business to? You have to be able to make a list, have a contact, which Bobby's going to go over with you, and you have to be able to ask everybody that question. I know agents that do business, that do 20 deals a year, 30, 40, 50, 60. They fall short of this. People don't want to ask people for business because they're afraid of rejection or no or whatever the reason is. And if you sold them a house before, if you were to buy or sell a house for a friend or family that was, am I still the agent you would use for business to? God forbid they say no. What do they do if they say no? Yes! I don't have to market to you or spend money on you anymore. I'm going to ask why, but if I lost them, I need to know, right? Guys, the girls are going to be in the back here when we're all done here pretty soon. If you're interested in learning more of this stuff, if you're a solo agent, I'm not taking agents from other teams or anybody else. I'll help you regardless of you. I don't care. But if you're a solo agent, you want to be part of a team, if you want to learn this stuff, if you want to make money, you give the girls in the back your name and phone number and your email address, and I'm going to plug you into us. And I'm going to be hard on you. Most of you will quit after a week, I'm just telling you, but that's the B side. We're not too hard on you. If you get to the A side, you're gonna get through the ringer. I mean, you have to make your calls. You have to, your contacts every day. You got to do your open houses. You have to do all the things that we do, the notes. You have to memorize scripts. You have to be part of the culture. You have to help people. The agents on our team, the ones that have been with us a while, are helping the ones that haven't been for a while. Everybody helps somebody else at some point. It just teaches you for the future, right? It gets you there. Enough about scripts. You guys took pictures of these. Bobby Martin! He's like another one of my sons.
Okay, here we go. All right, sounds good. All right, relationships. We've heard this a million times. We're in the relationship business, but it's not just selling real estate, it's really life. The people who you surround yourself make an impact on your life in a huge, huge way. And so I want to tell you a real quick story about meeting Aaron Taylor. The year is 1995, long time ago. And he was not the real estate guy, but he was the shoe guy. He was like the shoe king of Las Vegas, working at Kenny Shoes in the Boulevard. He was an area manager for that company. I was a manager in San Diego, and I was getting promoted, and I had the unlucky job of replacing this guy who was a giant in the company, and I was getting promoted to the area manager at the age of 20, and so I had to step in that guy's shoes. And so I moved out here, got to know him a little bit, and
growing up, I didn't really have great role models. My dad was kind of my older brother, had long hair down to here. He was kind of a mess. And so I looked at Aaron, I'm like, God, this guy seems to really have it all together. When he walks into a room, he lights it up. He makes everybody feel good, and it's how you make people feel. That's how they remember you. And so I looked at him and I said, you know what? I'm going to model myself after this guy. And so for years, I would always look to Aaron as kind of, my role model, the guy that I wanted to be like. And so here I am, kicking ass. By the way, I did kick his ass. All of his numbers were broken. I won a big trip for all this stuff. It was great. So it felt good to be able to...
You're talking about shoes, not
I'm
real
talking about
estate.
shoes. I'm talking about shoes. We crushed it. I had a great time. I was here for only 1 year. Then I got promoted back to area manager in all of San Diego County. So I only got to be out here for a year and around him for a year, but we stayed in touch. And I saw him get into real estate, and that's what was a light bulb in my head. I was like, maybe I should get into real estate. And so about 4 years, 5 years later, I got into real estate. And so I got licensed in 2002. And I've been with EXP now for 4 years on February 2nd. When I joined the company, I was the highest producer in Southern California for 2 weeks before a bunch of other guys came in. I got in right before they came in. And one day, Aaron was at my house, and we were going to go play golf in San Diego, and he came over to my house. We were going to have some breakfast, and Jason Gessing, our awesome president, calls me up that morning and says, hey, Bobby, I want to introduce you on the stage. I just joined EXP. I'm going to introduce you on stage at the EXP leadership meeting this Friday. He called me like the night before. And so here is Aaron, and he's watching this, our first EXP leadership meeting, my first one, and I get called up, and he's sitting there going, what the F is this? He's cracking up, we're both laughing, and it was like 400 agents in the room, and so that got me introduced to a lot of agents nationwide, and then that produced a lot of referrals come my way. We do a lot of referrals from EXP agents. So I'd be an idiot not to ask you for your business. So if you ever have anybody that's looking in San Diego County or Temecula in Riverside area, we also have an agent in Newport and LA, and then we also have a team member in San Francisco. So we're kind of spreading throughout the state of California right now. So if you ever have anybody out that way, please send them my way. So, all right, so that's the story about meeting Aaron Taylor. He has been a very inspirational person in my life, and I've always looked up to him in many, many ways. All right, so let's talk about CRM. Who religiously uses a CRM every single day that they go into work? Raise your hand. Oh boy, we got, right now, just from that one thing, if you add this into your business every single day, you will have 100% increase in your business. I guarantee it, because what you focus on grows. Yes,
Time out. Sam Coleman Luxury Group. I didn't see no hands go up.
Yeah, we can call them out on that.
I digress.
So I use KV Core. I have the Team Suite account. It works great for building a team because everybody can tie their CRM to my CRM. For those of you who don't know about the Team Suite, it's $3.99 for that. I don't work for KV Core, but it is a great way to build a team throughout an entire state, not just your own market. So with the CRM, I basically look at this every single day. And when you're looking at your back end, you see the dashboard, you see who's looking at properties, you see who your hottest people are right there, and it also tells you who to call. So it makes your job easier. Every day when you wake up, you need to know what you need to do that day. So I could do a whole nother class on time blocking, but if you're not time blocking, that is something that you should definitely add into your business as well. With the CRM, you're going to notice that over time, as you're building your CRM, it obviously is going to get bigger and bigger. I think I started off with like 2,000 leads about maybe 7-8 years ago. Now we're up to about 15,000 people in our CRM. And so and that's just my CRM. That's my contacts, leads that I've generated. That's what's in there. That does not include the sphere of each of my agents, which in 4 years we are now up to 27 agents on my local team in San Diego. 4 years ago we had 3. So that's the power of EXP, and that's the power of this model. You can really grow fast, and now I get to help a lot of people, a lot of agents grow their business. I'm still in production, but I'm kind of like inching my way out of production. I give away all the buyers, I negotiate the contracts, help get the deals in escrow, and I go on listing appointments, but that's pretty much it. My focus now is just really helping agents grow their business. So one of the things that I use with the CRM is a production sheet. And I don't know if you guys are going to get the slides from this, but I do have, you can send me a message on Workplace, and I will send you everything that I'm going to be talking about. The production sheet is a great, it's a Google sheet that basically it allows you to outline your best, hottest buyers, okay? So the people that you talk to that within 90 days they're buying a house, I put them as a hot buyer right on my spreadsheet. I call this list my low-hanging fruit, and I look at it every single day. It has my active listings, it has all my pendings, I put all my closed listings or closed sales on there, and it's really, it has allowed me to be hyper-focused on the people who are actually making a move. Too often we focus on people who are tire kickers and not motivated. That's obviously the wrong thing to do. When you're talking to a prospect on the phone, the number one thing that I'm focused on is finding their motivation. Why are they going to buy a house? What's prompting you to make the move right now? And if it's not a very strong reason, that might not be a sale for you. That might be a huge waste of time. Like if someone said to me right now, well, I'm looking for a good deal, and I've been renting for a while, and I just want to get a good deal. Well, that's probably not going to happen. You're going to have to educate that person on what the market's doing right now. So, but if someone comes to me and says, look, my wife's pregnant, we're in a 2-bedroom condo, and we have 2 kids, that guy's buying a house. Absolutely. So you focus 100% of your effort on those people, and I'm not saying to forget the other people, you're still going to focus on them as well, but it's a different level. You got to always be focusing on the people who are now business, and you take care and nurture those long-term leads. 800 families do this, and so I know how to do it better than most, and so that's why most people have a very good experience working with our team. Let's see here. So we talked about the vendors, and with the vendors, this is a great way to build your network. And Aaron talks about this a lot. The people around you that you're giving business to, they need to be giving business to you as well. So make sure when you call that plumber and say, hey, I'm looking for a great plumber to add to my vendor list, do you want to grab a cup of coffee? Sure, I'd love to grab a cup of coffee. Hey, by the way, do you currently have a real estate agent that you're referring business to? And if they say no, then obviously you're taking that meeting. You probably should ask that question first before you take them to coffee. But you want to be that guy. That's what you're interviewing plumbers to have a relationship that sends referrals both ways. And so I get referrals from my plumbers, my electrician, everybody under the sun. And the best part is I also have the solutions for my clients, because they're calling me and saying, hey, I need a plumber, I need an electrician. I'm like Johnny on the spot. I have it for them within minutes, and the problem is solved. So definitely you want to be doing that. Let's see, take your best clients and referral partners to lunch, golf, other things that you like to do. Throw parties at least 2 times a year. This is something that Aaron does probably a lot more than that. I know it seems like you're always partying on Facebook, Aaron. There's always something going on. That is this is a huge thing, because again, you want to get in front of your people as often as possible. And then at these parties, guess what? You're introducing your clients to each other. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see your clients hanging out without you. And I think that's awesome. Back in San Diego, a ton of my clients have met other clients, and they're all friends now. And I'm like, wait a minute, well, you guys are hanging out. What's going on here? So it's very, very important to do that. I know, so it might cost a little something to do it, but it takes money to make money, and you got to spend it. So we talked about this being a connector. Create a lot of groups. Be the leader in your area that's pulling people together. If you like to play cards or poker, get a poker group together. My wife does a bunco group. I do poker group. I've got a golf group that I play with. So these are all things that you're gonna over time. Actually, we did a supper club. And we had about 14 couples, and I literally, one night was looking, I was like, sold you a house, sold you a house, sold you a house, about to sell you a house. I mean, that's how it works, People will work with the people they're hanging out with the most. And obviously, this is a very competitive business, very competitive. So you gotta stand out. Join BNI. This is something that I've been a member of BNI for 11 years in San Diego, Business Networking Incorporated. There's only one professional for every category. And so it's basically a networking group that it's more of a referral group because you're actually getting referrals. A lot of times you go to these networking groups and nothing happens. But this is very, very focused on actually passing referrals to each other. It lives by the giver's gain mentality. If I give to others, they're going to want to give to me. So it's a very, very good thing. Now, when you go to your friends and your clients' houses, or let's just say friend's house, they own the home. Pull the comps on their house. Know the market like the back of your hand when you go over to their house, because they're going to want to probably talk about it at some point. You don't necessarily need to be the one that brings it up, although you could say something like, boy, did you see that house that just sold down the street? Your comps in here are going nuts, or something like that. Have the conversation, be ready, because then instantly they just think, oh, you already know about my area. Because a lot of times they might be thinking, oh, I'm just going to use the neighborhood specialist, which is a thing of the past. Anybody who says, I want to use the neighborhood specialist, you should smack them in the face. There's a thing called the internet now that, like Aaron said, 98% of properties are selling online. So it's not the neighborhood specialist, that's your competitor. That's the person bringing you a buyer. So why would you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, want to have the same person who most likely will bring a buyer on your property also represent you? Is that what you want? Do you want to have, dual agency? So, all right. Host friends as often as possible and buy anything that their kids are selling. Okay? If someone calls you up and says, hey, my kid's selling this, buy it. 10, 20 bucks, whatever it is. They will remember that little thing that you did to help their kids. So in closing, basically with relationships, you just got to really understand, be likable, put a lot of effort into it. Stop wasting all this freaking time on all this shit that doesn't work. There is so much crap out there that does not work. But the relationships work every time if you work the relationship. And now if someone says to you, hey, I can't use you or I don't want to use you, they're only saying no to you today. So don't treat them like shit after they say that, because they're only saying no to you today. So that might change. So you might want to say, in the event that your aunt gets out of real estate, would I be the person that you would get in, work with? And it might be yes at that point. Or at some point, maybe the aunt pisses them off, and you're gonna get that referral. So don't give up on it. I see too often real estate agents, they get pissed and they might say something like, I can't believe you bought a house with somebody else. I thought we were friends. That's bullshit. Like, I can't stand when agents do that. We are not entitled to every single sale. So anyways, that is it. Anybody have any questions?
Are you single?
Am I single? Oh, was that Aaron? That must have been Aaron.
Every time I have Bobby come to a party or if I get a get together, it never fails that there's always a woman that I know that comes up to me and goes, is he single? He's so cute.
Oh, geez. I'm not single. I'm very, very happily married, 20 years.
Anyways, good job, Bobby.
Thank you.
So we're getting to a close. After Bart, then we're going to do this raffle. We're going to give some things away, which is really cool. So just 10 more minutes. If you're interested, again, and I should talk about more of this in the beginning, but I don't, because it's really not. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is really to help you. You guys get some nuggets from this to help you in your business. But if you are interested in the Real Estate Guy team, don't forget to give your name, phone number, and email address to the girls in the back. We will call you. We will show you what we do. If you need that kick in the ass or that push, we will gladly give it to you. So we do have a team leader. This guy is going to talk for just a few minutes. He's going to tell you about what we do. He was the VP of D.R. Horton. He actually, I'm going to let him tell you, but I'm going to bring him off Bart's own. Come on up, Bart.
Because Aaron is,
You guys hear me okay? Okay. So you know why I'm the team leader of the team? This. Not my brain, but the gray hair. Yeah, I've been doing it a long time. So I hired Aaron actually in 1994. I was working for a company called Watt Homes. It was my first year as a sales manager for Watt Homes, and he was one of my first hires. And what do I always say, Aaron?
Best hire ever.
Best hire ever, right? Would you agree? Yeah, so fast forward to now. So I've been with Aaron about 6 years now as his team leader. And now you know, it's the old thing about the teacher becomes a student. You know? So Aaron has, in all the years that we've known each other, we've always, I like to say, I guess I can't say I'm his first best friend, like his best friend, because apparently Spencer is.
That's funny.
But I think I am one of his best friends. You know, we've kept in touch over the years. He's consulted me over the years. I consulted him over the years. I opened up several over 48 agencies over the years when the market was going crazy and everything. People ask me, when he said earlier about revenue share, you know, everybody joined EXP revenue share, you know, I had to raise my hand, you know, because I joined EXP honestly because of him. It could have been ABC. If Aaron left a company that he was with he built himself, and I knew this company, and I knew how much it meant to him. It was literally his baby. If a man has a baby, it was 048 to him, okay? So when he left that to go to EXP, I was done. I'm on board, you know. So I've had the privilege of working with the most amazing team. I spent 23 years banging my head against the wall in the corporate world, Pulte Homes, D.R. Horton Homes. I was always in management, which is very stressful. And by the way, I attribute to that. I think I would still have dark hair. I like to think that anyway. Just like Aaron and I like to think we're better in shape. But anyway, so coming to work with Aaron and working with our team has been amazing. What I want to share with you guys, this is just a teaser. But, you know, for one, what a lot of great information today. Would you guys agree? Amazing information. I'll tell you, the whole thing always been learning. I learned some things today, or at least many things I was reminded of today. And a lot of times it's the things we're not doing, right? That we know we should be doing. Which is just kind of as good as learning something new, too, if we apply it tomorrow, okay? So one of the things if you're interested in joining our team, the one thing we can promise you is we will make you the best of the best in this industry if you do what we teach you to do and you have it in your heart to do it. I was told years and years and years ago from a person who owned the largest national training company for realtors and new home agents in the country, said that in real estate, it's either the lowest paying, easiest job or the highest paying, hardest job, okay? So in our team, okay, one of the things we do is we have a passion. It's our culture. to help people and to be passionate about helping people. And now I want to say for business-wise, okay? We have a passion, I have a passion of helping our agents become the best. It breaks my heart when we lose an agent, especially if we lose them to get out of business, okay? But I will say this, not our fault, okay? It's hard work, but if you do the things that we train you to do, you're going to succeed beyond your wildest dream. You already saw a couple people here, Sam and Aaron, you know, real life examples, okay? We have many, many more. So the other thing about with our team is we have our philosophy, I guess, our culture is a pay it forward philosophy. And so one of the things, and I've never seen this, and I've worked with, when I worked with builders, I worked with a lot of brokerages, did a lot of events with brokerages, top brokerages, and I've never seen in a brokerage where people will literally help. I'll give you an example. If I have a buyer and I can't meet that buyer at this property, I can ask Natasha to go, Natasha, can you do me a solid? Can you go meet my buyer at this property? She'll do it. You know what she wants from me? Zero. Okay? We're here, our culture and our company, our team, is to pay it forward. Natasha's learned a lot in this industry that cost her nothing but her time, and she's being rewarded financially for doing the things she's trained to do, but it didn't cost her anything financially, time, you know. But she recognizes what she was given and pays it forward. And so if you join our team, it's not just coming to classes that I'm teaching or Aaron's teaching or one of our other JT's teaching, the real estate kid. You have a whole team of people that will support you, that don't want you to fail. Not only don't want you to fail, but they want you to succeed to your highest potential, okay? So one of the things we put together, this is the teaser, one of the things we put together is, you know, all the things, many of the things you heard today, I won't say all of it, but many of the things you heard today, what I call, there's best practices and best practices. We're in the best practice mode, okay? So the amount of money that Aaron has spent over the years, the amount of time, like I can honestly say, besides being 5 years older than Aaron, even if I was his age, I could never keep up with this guy, for sure, okay? And he has done more things wrong over the years that made him be able to find out the things that are right or better in what we did, okay? In this binder right here is when we have a new team member join, and some of our existing team members go to these, I'm going to start calling them boot camps, and but it's a 7-week course with pretty much everything you heard today, but in very comprehensive process. We have these trainings, by the way, this is just for our team. So you have to be part of the team to get this, okay? But we train on every Tuesday mornings at 8:30. It's about an hour and a half training. It's a boot camp. It's very interactive. And everything that you need to know, literally, to become as good as Aaron over time, without spending all the money he had to spend to find out the things that didn't work, okay? We're going to show you how to do that, okay? All of our team members here have gone through this, and they've learned, and they're becoming the best. Like Aaron and I say, the next generation is going to be better than us, right, Aaron?
For sure they will, yeah.
So anyway, glad you guys were able to come out here. Stop by about if you're interested in anything, glad you have.
Thank you, brother. So, I'm going to take just 2 more minutes. If you have to leave, go ahead. But I just want to, someone might have a question. If you want to ask me, maybe it's something I can respond out loud. If you don't, that's fine, we do it afterwards. But I want to thank you all for coming. It really means a lot. It really, by me doing this with you guys, fulfills what I want. It helps me. Does that make sense? Like, you know, if I took out money out of my pocket, right? And I just said, you know what? Thanks for coming. Here's $100. Have a good dinner. That's going to help me more than her. The universe is going to give me that 10 times more. Do you guys believe that?
Yes.
What happens is as you get older, you start to realize that. So every single day, my son knows who I'm teaching, I have to give money away to somebody. I have to help somebody. I don't care if I have to go mow their lawn. The more we do that in our life, the more that's just going to come back. So when you know it works on purpose, you just want to do more of it. So thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. And, I'll ask questions afterwards. Have a great day.